Hello. Hello. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good evening. Oh. The camera's fixed. Yay. Cameras, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. Hello. Junas music. Fuckers. Surprised you know the exact place and location. Ah. Hi everybody. Answer Banana, thank you for the 14 months. Whoa. Thank you, thank you. So Ashkai will be here a little bit. She said, I don't know, 9:30, 10 or something like that. She'll be here in a little bit. And then I told her, it's all good. I usually stall anyway in the beginning of my streams. She's, I don't know if I can say this. I guess it doesn't matter. She's working. She'll be here though. Oh. You have COVID? I'm sorry about that. I hope you feel better. Yo, so chat, I've been trying to like see if I can get a chair, like a better chair. And everybody's been suggesting that I get like an office chair, ergonomic chair. And you know, I figured, okay, I'm gonna be doing this YouTube thing for a long time. So what's the best chair out there? And people were like, Herman Miller. I'm like, yo, how much is this? I looked it up, $1,600. I'm like, what the f? I can be your chair? Yo, Ryan, relax. I ain't about that life, Ryan, relax. Subutai, hello. Relax. Ain't nobody be in my chair. Besides my chair. They're super pricey, yeah. Yeah. You know what's crazy though? I found out it has the 12-year warranty. And they like send out people to fix your chair if anything's wrong with it. I'm like, what the heck? That's crazy. Chat, so I fixed, hopefully, knock on wood. I fixed my computer restarting when I stream or when I edit. I finally fixed it. It was not cheap. It was not cheap to fix it. I'm even worse off now because I'm now even more broke. I found out the reason was because of RAM. I don't know why, but I got a new RAM. You see this? Got a new RAM. 64 gigs of RAM. Now, there's something in here. It's the old RAM. Whew. Sorry everybody, usually when I start stream I'm like dead. And then I wake up like 40 minutes into it. Uh, it's just something wrong with the Windows 11 DDR5 12th gen Intel chips, I think. Need some coffee? Yeah. Might need some, but then again, it's just a dark day. It's raining. So it's probably why I'm like kind of still tired. How's my girlfriend? Thank you for asking. She's phenomenal. She's doing well. She's busy. How much did the RAM cost? Oh my gosh. It's DDR5 RAM, so it's so expensive. 300 bucks? Chat, do you think a 64 gigabyte of RAM is worth 300 bucks? Yeah, 12th gen is very compatible with Windows 11, but there's some issues with it. What's the topic for today? I have no idea. I was talking to Ashikai like 5 days ago. I just picked my nose on stream. Wow. I talked to her like 5 days ago and I was like, yo, what do you want to talk about? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. Let's kind of wing it. And she's like, yeah, I'm down. I'm like, cool. You guys act like you don't pick your nose, bro. Everybody picks their nose. You just hide it. Yo, Wei, what's up? What do you mean? Everybody picks their nose. If you guys say you don't, you're a liar. Liar. I'll tell you what, you say you clean it with water. Even doing that in the shower is technically picking your nose. Prove me wrong. I love getting like down and dirty with people with real talk. Yo, chat, who picks their nose? Type 1 in chat. Don't be ashamed. You saw me do it. This is a very safe space. Everybody's pretty much anonymous except their username. 7? What do you mean 7? Oh. Oh, my eyeballs hurt. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome in. Bro, you guys think I'm like a cool person, but I have a lot of issues, right? I pick my nose. I fart a lot. Look, nobody's perfect. Did I watch the chess boxing match? I did. It was pretty entertaining. Are you okay? You seem tired. Yeah, usually I'm pretty tired in the morning. It's all good. It's normal. But you're still an amazing theorist. Thank you. Thanks. Ooh. You do morning exercise? Oh, I don't. You know what? That's a great suggestion. I never even considered morning exercises. Because it's just like a lot of effort. But I should consider that. I say that and then I'm just gonna like forget about it again. What? Top? That's not a... Here's what Top said. Your girlfriend fan Kadla and now Ashikai joins his harem. What do you mean? What? I'll tell you a thing or two about harems. Anybody interested in this harem lore? I'll tell you a thing about harem, okay? Anybody interested in some lore? Okay. This is harem, okay? I'll tell you. Listen. This is a lore about harem, okay? For harem to work, you or the person we're talking about, it's kind of like weirdly in a very awkward way above girl 1. I guess it doesn't have to be just girl. Girl, guy, day 1. G, it matches, okay? Girl, guy, day 1, okay? 2. Girl, guy, day 3. You see this dynamic? You, if this is harem, is above these folks. However, the current situation is, I don't know if you know this, okay? This is what it usually is like. Girl, guy 1, day 1. Girl, guy, day 2. Girl, guy, day 3. This is usually, you're over here. This is you. Okay? That's you. So you're lower than these people, okay? That's how that works, alright? For what it's worth, you guys are not giving enough credit to the other folks. They're actually, they're cooler and better than me. Dun 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 and when she gonna tune in? I don't know. In a little bit. I did message her last night. She'll be here. Just a little bit of things she gotta take care of in the morning. How tall are you? 6'7"? What's up, Mr. Bean? Have you watched new Subutai video? Oh shit, I almost forgot. You wanna watch it? I haven't seen it yet. A little reaction time before we do Theory Thursday. Let's go.
A traveler, you say? Why are you traveling?
Reward for the capture of a blonde-haired traveler and their mysterious flying pet. So this refers to you two?
There's been a large dragon sighted around Mondstadt recently. Storm terror. Best you get inside the city as soon as possible.
The Tianquan Ningguang has forbidden anyone from accessing Rex Lapis's vessel.
The killer is amongst us! The Raiden Shogun
Among
is
us!
having a vision hunt ceremony at the statue of the omnipresent god today.
The Academia lost a knowledge capsule in the desert. Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods.
The wind tier. Something's off.
Wow. What a very weird but interesting background music choice. I like this. It's toxic, no?
The people of Mondstadt will never sleep again for the nightmares they give them. Senora is going to end
Senora?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone forest. You could never defeat me.
You are aware that the loser must die.
Oh.
Are you sure this is what you want?
We are using human wisdom to create a god. Let us reenact a scene of the Archon War. Embrace the anger. Embrace it!
What has been done cannot be
Ooh.
done.
Come and inaugurate my birth as a god.
Ooh.
Oh, so we just need to fight monsters from the abyss and a dragon. No pressure or anything.
Ooh. Ooh. Wait. Hold on a minute. How are you going to make full Archon story videos cinematically when 90% of Archon quests is everybody standing around and there's a dialogue box? I will be looking forward to that. For what it's worth, this video was poggers because a lot of cool, amazing cinematics.
As for the truth, that's on you to find out.
Nice. Nice. Holy shit, your end screen's long. Nice. Nice. Subatai, are you here? Oh, what the?
Paimon will help too.
Subatai, are you here? Yo. Yo. Well, it's too late now, but if you're listening in, great video. Sorry, I'm not really reacting heavily because I'm kind of tired, but good video. Fix your end screen in the future videos. It's too long. You lose retention.
Sure, anything.
It was probably difficult to put an end screen here. Alright. It is what it is. Good video. Nice. Well done. Well done. I hit like. Where is she? She'll be here. You guys should all like videos. Here, I'll show you a little secret. If you like a video, you get a little confetti. I know I'm like beating this horse, but like, it's cool. You should try it on this stream. If you like it, you get a little confetti. I don't know what the topic's gonna be. We're winging it. Woo! And then after this, I'll probably go eat after the stream with my friend, which is nice. Can I join with Discord voice, please? No. This is my time. It's my quality time with Ashikai. It's my. Don't take away my perk as a content creator. Yeah, I wanted alone time with Ashikai just like everybody else. How long will the stream be? Like 2 to 3 hours, maybe. I want my quality alone time. Understandable. Have a nice day. Thank you for understanding. What type of coffee am I drinking? I'm not drinking coffee right now. I'm drinking tea. But I don't know what kind of tea. I forget. I just ordered something that Unreal recommended me, but I forgot what it was. Yo, how many of you are waiting for Ashikai? Let's be honest here. How many of you are waiting for Ashikai? Alright, alright, alright. Look, I'm in the same situation as you, chat. I'm in the same situation as you. I have no way of making this any quicker. How to summon Ashikai? You need to entertain us while we wait? Is this not entertaining? Dude, I'm sorry. If this is not entertaining for you, I'm sorry. You can dislike the video if you want. Only if you want, though. Do something? Teddy Teddy! Is that good enough? Teddy Teddy! Ooh, Teddy Teddy! Is that entertaining?
Kong Mayat 2 super chatted $1.99. Waits faster.
Kong Maya Toe! Thank you! We're trying to wait faster. How about dad jokes? I said this before. This is like the only dad joke that I know. What do you call a deer with no eyes? I have no idea. Dislike. Is that Ganyu portrait on the wall? Yeah, right there. And then I have this. Sino joke is better than this? Look. You can judge it however you want to judge it. But that was a good joke. Just embrace it. Yo, don't be sitting there like cringe. Don't be sitting there cringing. Just embrace it. If you embrace it, we can all cringe together. That's more fun, in my opinion. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Oh. 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 Good one, Lapis. Good one. Very good. Why was the math books was so sad? Raijin, okay, that was a terrible joke. Raijin, oh my goodness. Raijin. Friend, please. Do you guys want to see a riddle? What about a riddle? What about instead of a dad joke, we do a riddle? Get like help you get entertained. How about a riddle, chat? Here's the riddle. I wasn't keeping up with chat. Somebody might have said the answer, but I didn't see it. Let me find the answer. I won't tell you right away to give you guys time to think. Okay, I got it. It's not weeks. Because every year the weeks change. Like how many weeks there are in a month every year changes because the numbers shift, right? The days shift. Sundays, there's not 6 Sundays in March. Same with Wednesdays. Let me read it for you. I become 5 in January. I become 3 in February. I become 6 in March. I become 4 in April. Who am I? I couldn't answer this question because I'm dumb. My girlfriend figured it out though. She sent me the answer. Or actually, she didn't figure it out either. Somebody smarter than both of us answered the question. Wow, that was fucking fast. You Googled it, didn't you? 5 have answered correctly. The answer is number 3. But why is it number 3? Can you guess? The answer is actually number 3, but why is it number 3? There you go. Yeah, it's the number of days that include the number 3 in the month. So the 3rd, 13th, 23rd, 30th. If you add them all up, or yeah. It's number of 3s in a month. Like in days. Even like 31st still counts, right? 30th, 31st, 23rd, 13th, 3rd. So that January has 5. February has 3 because there's only 3rd, 13th, and 23rd. Because there's no 30 or 31st. Because even the leap year ends at 29. It's a bad riddle. 13 is not 3. Mathematically, you're correct. But 13 has the number 3 included. It's not about the count of numbers, it's more like how many of number itself appears. March 6th? What? There you go. Yeah. 3rd, 13th, 23rd, 30th, 31st, and March. That's March. That's 6. One more. I don't know any more. If you guys are curious on where I even got this, in Korea there's a show. I forgot the name of the show, but it's like people that are like pretty much borderline fucking geniuses. That happen to be also like celebrities, and like people who graduated really prestigious college. They go on this show, and the show gives them like a crap ton of these kind of riddles and questions, and they sit there and they try to like solve it, and as a viewer you kind of follow along and try to solve it yourself as well. It's a Korean show. I forgot what it was called. Anybody know the name of this show? I forget. Wait. Train to Busan. Okay, that's a movie. Oh, what was it? 문제적 남자. Basically it means I don't know what it means. Problem solving dude. What's the answer? Number 3. That's how many times the 3 appears in that said month. I seldomly watch Korean shows nowadays. Same. I used to watch a lot of Running Man. Anybody used to watch Running Man? Ow. Hopefully Ashika will be here in like, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes. Oh, I did watch a Great Escape show. That was pretty cool. I used to watch Running Man a lot before it was like getting too repetitive. This was like the first 3-4 years of Running Man. Yeah, the old ones, and then I kind of like grew out of it. In the meantime, do you want to decide a topic? No, not really. Chat. Listen to me. Chat, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. Don't pressure me. If you pressure me, I'm gonna do a bad job. Don't pressure me. Like, I don't know what topic we're gonna talk about. I want to just kind of wing it and have fun. I don't want to stress myself, you know? I don't want to stress myself. Ashika is gonna get here and we're just gonna chill. You're sorry? You better be. I mean, what? Damn it. Yeah, we're just gonna chill. What time is it for you and Ashika? I don't know what time it is for her, but it's morning, so. Did you schedule this with Ashikai? Nah. I just tweeted it and then just just made a schedule of the stream for it with her name in it and just expected her to show up. Oh, there she is. Hi. Take your time. I think we're just chilling. Damn, man. Damn, chat. A wild Ashikai shows up. Everybody's going nuts. And I'm sitting here like, God damn. She's so popular. Nobody wants me here anymore. You motherfuckers. It's Ashikai. Ignore this island fool. It's Ashikai. You assholes. Motherfucking. I feel neglected as hell. Thank you, Wei, for being here for me. So she's getting ready. I think she's prepare 5 minutes, she said. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, chat. I just woke up. I'm just a novelty dessert. You're the main course. It's very subjective, okay? Some people eat dinner so that they can eat dessert. Damn it. It's very subjective. Fuck. Oi. Oi. Oi.
Kong Mayat 2 super chatted $1.99. Bro got deleted from Erminsel.
Oh shit. Thank you for the super chat. Ah. Ah.
It's always right when you want to do something that all of your software decides to update.
Yes. Hello. How's the volume, chat?
I can hear myself. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna mute you.
Oh. I'm getting muted. Oh. I'm muted and it's better.
No, I mean I have to mute the stream, otherwise I hear myself like 3 seconds later. Weird.
Hello,
Anyway,
hello.
Hi, good morning. Good morning
morning.
to chat too.
How's your whatever you were doing before this?
My job?
Yes. I don't know if you wanted to share, but yeah, sure, your job.
Oh, what a right pain in the ass. That just about sums it up, honestly.
Okay. How much time do you have?
I have until Oh, that got moved to tomorrow. Cool. I have a couple hours.
Cool. Hold on. I need to fix something.
Oh, that's right. They moved the COP 15 to Friday. Oh, okay, cool. I have to do that today. Yay!
For some reason, my OBS is not recording on the proper channels. Oh, I know why. Yeah, that's why.
While you do that, I'm gonna grab one thing.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah, good morning. Hello, Lily. Come here. Yeah. We got a fluff ball.
Fluff ball.
Hello, fluff ball.
Why do you smell like compost?
Oh, what?
Definitely a female Genshin character, overworked. Yeah, no, I'm not overworked. It's just how do I put it? The project I was working on was supposed to go in for approval on the concept yesterday. And for some reason, 5 out of 6 of the people who are also weighing in on the project thought concept meant final. And so they told me concept gets approved and needs to go out for review tomorrow. Well, I guess it was yesterday, technically. But what they meant was the final is due at 5 p.m. But what they said is the concept is going for review. And I was like, that's not the same thing. Sending in a concept is not the same thing as sending you in a final draft. That's ridiculous. So doesn't happen that often, but
So you were just having a discussion about it this morning?
no, I have a morning meeting every morning.
Ooh, work.
Yep. How does that even happen? It's what happens when projects get rushed. Basically, me and the other designer who were on the team were like, 12 items is too many. You guys can't do 12 items. And then they're like, well, we're going to do 12 items. And we're like, okay. So we had to do 12 items. And they thought it wouldn't take that long. And then it did. And then they started rushing. And then they're like, oh, hey, all these graphics you just did with all these nice text treatments on them. Now you have to redo them because turns out we didn't actually go through a copy editing stage. So there's full of typos and the links are wrong. And I had to redo all of it. Anyway, I can see chat. Yes, I'm looking at you.
Anyway.
Caffeinated uncoffee. Wait, how do you caffeinate uncoffee? Is that like caffeinated tea? A tea is an uncoffee, right?
Is it? Oh gosh, I'm dying here. All right, caffeinated uncoffee. Wait, what is uncoffee?
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm confused.
Uncoffee is probably anything that's not coffee, so it's tea.
Sorry, I'm just setting everything up.
Oh, okay. I see. Island setting things up. I think we had talked we were gonna like set a pretty general
we just
generic
wing it.
Thing.
We wing it.
Wing it. Unoxygen water.
Yay.
Hydrogen then?
Unoxygen water? Is it?
Yeah,
There's no such thing.
Yeah, it's just hydrogen.
Can you drink just hydrogen?
No.
Isn't that just the element? That's it?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it.
feel like you might just have a terrible headache or stomach ache.
You'll probably just explode.
All right. Yeah, I set everything up. Yay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this stream. Welcome to, I don't know what this is, a video stream. As you can tell, Ashika is here. Hey.
Hi.
So we spoke a couple days ago. We're trying to figure out a topic, and then we came to a conclusion. It's like, I don't know. So
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so I think we're just winging it. And that's fine with me. I think that's better most of the time than trying to like forcefully plan something, because usually when I do that, it doesn't work out.
We said we could talk about suspicious archons, and then that was the extent of the discussion. We're like, great, ship it.
Right. So if you guys don't know who Ashika is, you should know her. Honestly, if you've been watching my channel, it's pretty like, I don't know how you cannot know Ashika if you watch my videos. Maybe some of it's vice versa. I don't know, but yes.
You realize you have a much larger viewership than I do, right? Like that statistically, that's likely that people will watch your videos.
Depends.
No,
Pong,
I mean,
thank you
think
for
about
the
it.
199. Thank you for super chat. I mean, I know what you're saying.
Mathematically,
Yeah.
you have several videos that have like millions of views on them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they're not-
one.
maybe those people won't be in chat, but you know.
Yeah. But my point being, Ashikai also a lore theory crafter for Genshin Impact, you know?
Genshin.
Genshin Impact.
Yep.
So go to her channel, support her, y'all. Appreciate her being here, because this is like me just kind of doing it on my side of the YouTube. But yeah, I'm stoked. So last time we were just talking about a topic of suspicious, right? Suspicious archons. I don't know really where to take this, but let me list out all the archons for now, and I don't know, we'll see what we can think about them. Venti Mondstadt. I hope I'm spelling these correctly.
Time passes, the more I am so infuriated with Venti.
Why? Any particular reason?
Because we're probably gonna get Nahita's second story quest before we get Venti's second story quest. Is that not infuriating?
I forgot about it because I gave up.
Like, doesn't that seem more likely? Because like we still have at least one more desert region to go.
I just gave up on waiting for his story quest. Wait, we got both writing struggles and Zhongli's.
Yeah, but the second
not
story
Venti.
quest always has a boss. Remember?
For the pattern, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So like Zhongli had Ajdaha, and then Raiden had herself, and so Nahida will have something, and that means Venti has something. And the most logical something is Decorabia, which means we go into the like bottom of the Storm Terror thing.
Oh, do you think that's what's gonna happen? That's oh, interesting. I haven't even considered.
It makes sense because like the bosses seem to be connected to the archons, right?
Yeah, Nahida, the boss for
Dornenport isn't
Nahida.
out either, yeah.
Nahida's second quest is not out, right? So
No, it's not. It's just that like the way the pattern is going,
yeah.
we're gonna get hers before Venti's. Like that's just it's a zero something. Or like the end of her quest, without spoiling anything, sets it up so that like if you were to look at like the actual timeline of the plot of the current game, not the like history of the game timeline.
Yeah.
That one's nuts. But just like the current plot, if you look at her story quest and where you get to play it, it looks like the continuation of it should be pretty soon after, just because of the stuff that it deals with. Whereas Venti is just like super open-ended.
Well, Venti's drunk all the times. I don't.
So
Okay,
that's a hypothesis, but still.
I do have a thought. This was So recently I made a video about that suspicious thingy that happened at the end of the Archon quest. I'm saying it that way because potential spoilers. Chat
Archon quest or her story quest?
interlude.
Oh, the interlude. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just checking.
Chad, you guys all finished the interlude, right? If you haven't, this might be spoilers. I can't like not talk about spoilers because there's points that I'm trying to get across. So hopefully you did it.
Nothing as a spoiler if it's been longer than a week for the release.
Oh, is that how you do it? Okay, then.
Yeah, because because otherwise, like, I'm gonna just be dancing around things forever, and then it just makes it really difficult to talk about things. So I give people like a week and a half before I'm just like, okay, this is out of my spoiler jail.
That's what I should do. That's smart. Okay, so we can talk about it then. So at the end, you know how there's that voice or whatever.
Yeah.
I still don't know, but somebody in the comments of that video suggested something that I didn't even considered, and maybe this all ties back into the whole idea of a potential boss that's coming from a second like Archon quest. Somebody said, hey, what about instead of it being like a person or a thing, the voice, what if it's that turtle? Remember the turtle in the trailer?
Well, that's one I haven't heard yet.
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, oh, what is up with the turtle? You're right. Because there's a gigantic turtle tortoise or whatever in the trailer, and we kind of like glossed over it, but it exists.
Her trailer was just all her going through different people's dreams, and that was just one of the dreams she was going
Oh,
through.
you think so? It was just like a...
I mean, that's how I interpreted it, but a lot of people really hyper fixated on that turtle. I think... can't remember where it is. There is one mention to a giant turtle.
In the game, actually?
Yeah.
For Sumeru?
Yeah.
Let me...
Question is, where the hell is it?
What? Oh, where was... What video was that from, that turtle? Was it Nahita's demo? What was it?
It's okay. The teaser was the psychological horror on loop one, and then her demo was the dream thing, I think, because the collected miscellany doesn't have that kind of stuff in it.
Oh, right. So Happy Birthday is the depressing one. I was so traumatized by watching it, honestly. I swear. Oh, I think it's this one. Chat, if you don't know what the turtle is, this might not have anything to do with anything, but hold on. Where the hell is this turtle?
All right, it's part of the Boar Princess. That's why I never wanted to look at it ever again. Yeah.
That thingy.
I think it's somewhere though that it's called like a giant turtle of time.
That's sus.
Well, because like the weird thing about these is like these manta rays, those are in Enkanomiya, these ones.
Interesting. Do you think there's a link between potential... I know this is like a long shot, right? You think there's a link between Enkanomiya and like these turtles in like... I don't know where this turtle's from, but if we're talking about time, it's kind of sus.
Well, it's that's a complicated thing because like the desert itself is based off of Egypt and a lot of northern Africa, right? And obviously parts of Persia, so like into Iran and that kind of stuff. The thing is that Egypt is like really connected to Greece historically, and then Enkanomiya is based on Greece, so like if you ask me if they're connected, I'm immediately going to say yes. Because of, well, that. But also, like, I don't know if you've done Golden Slumber and if you've done the post-Golden Slumber quest.
Some of it,
like,
yes.
It lets you get maximum clearance so that you can go to all the places. there's like some, how do I put this? You know those like machines that are like light structures?
Yes.
There's a couple of them in one of the really big control rooms, as I call them, that are near identical to some of the light structures in Enkanomiya. Like, for example, the gateway
Mm-hmm.
that opens up initially in the Serpent's Bowels. That
So
one you can basically put side by side with some of the pillar light things, and then they look identical. So that just, to me, suggests that they're based on similar, if not the same tech.
I mean, the most simplest way to think
it.
about it is, you know, it's like the basic concept is Enkanomiya and the Sumeru Desert Temple. The temple in there. It's like both. Isn't it just simple as ancient civilization that's kind of seems to be attached to each other anyway?
Yeah, but you have to figure out which ancient civilization.
I always assumed, you know, in a weird way, because I like to keep things simple. I have no evidence to this, but I always like speculated that they were all at the same time, even if they might be like different areas. It's all like connected at the same time. Like in the past, they all existed kind of similarly, and then they persisted for a long time together.
But like if you were when you look at technology and stuff, you're like trying to match it to a time period, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly just that.
My copium thought was, for something tells me when the nail landed in multiple places, it happened at the same time, and it just so affected all the civilization that were existing at the same time, and they were one of the same, it's just in different locations, as in like the time frame, right?
Yeah.
So if them having like similar structure, I think it does make sense. It's really interesting.
It's just about trying to place them in time.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part.
So going back to this then, who?
I found it. I
The
found
turtle?
it. I found it. So like, there's a couple of weird things. I was going back through. Like, I just did a quick search. There's so many turtles in the Boar Princess. I hate that book. Don't read it. But there's also a mention of a tortoise in Fading Twilight. And then
Which
there's
book is
another
that?
one. It's not a book. It's the weapon.
Okay.
But it says the giant tortoise of the dark ooze.
Oh.
Which means like it's an abyssal tortoise. So there's that in Fading Twilight. And the thing about weapon lore, right? Like weapon lore isn't fictional, and it doesn't seem to be adjusted by Irminsul. So like it's still a reliable historical account.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that one. And then I realized in Enkanomiya's 3 Realms event, the Bokuso box, one of the blessings is called the Blessing of the Tortoise.
I wonder if it just...
Which is odd. And then I remember where I actually saw the Tortoise of Time. It's in Nahida's voice lines.
Oh, really?
About Faruzan's line. She says, she is suffering from exposure to the remnants of King Deshret's power. It's as if the great Tortoise of Time accidentally threw her off its back and left her suspended in the past. If you're interested, you should be able to catch a glimpse of Sumeru from a bygone age through her.
You know, this clearly doesn't feel like it's a coincidence
I
that...
knew I'd read it before. There's a lot of tortoise stuff in here.
I love when these kind of things happen because Faruzan's released and like now things kind of seem like there's some connecting dots but still unanswered. I find it always so fun and fascinating. Huh. Tortoise of Time.
Isn't that weird?
That's sus.
It's very sus.
And lately we've been getting a lot of hints about time. Like too much almost.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird too because there's actually 2 types of time.
Okay, hold on. All right. Let me write notes, senpai. Okay, hold on. 2 types of time. Okay, go on.
Well, okay, Okay, so you know how Istaroth is named after Kairos, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what the Enkanomians named her. The thing is, Kairos is a Greek word for time, but it's for a very specific type of time. Kairos refers specifically to like the perception of time, whereas
Okay.
Chronos is like absolute time. So if you say something like, "Oh my god, that presentation took forever," and someone else turns around and goes, "It only took 5 minutes." The first statement is Kairos. The second one is Chronos.
Perception.
Like how much time it actually took.
Real
Right.
and perception.
So the thing about Istaroth that I think is interesting is that they call her the ruler of time and they also call her the god of moments. And I think the latter title is more important because in the context of like Irminsul, right? Like it's a memory altering tree.
Yep.
Which is all about your perception of reality, right? Like what do you actually remember? Is it what actually happened?
Yep.
Because there's going to be an absolute history and then there's going to be the perception of history. So I think about that a lot. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like when it comes to the tortoise, if you talk about the tortoise of time, are you talking about Chronos or are you talking about Kairos? Is this tortoise like a slow and steady wins the race kind of?
I think that's one of the symbolisms, yeah.
Right? Yeah, so that's where I get a little stuck.
Well, so the turtle, the tortoise, right? It could be just like a cool flavor, like what do you call it? Just a cool happening in the trailer and like nothing else, but they don't do that. In my personal opinion, they always have something that's like foreshadowing something for later, right? In everything that they do. So undoubtedly, just like all the information that was from the game with the tortoise, I think it is connected. And it being next to Enkanomia manta rays, oh, the tortoise of time, I think they're definitely connected. It's really sus. The question is this tortoise gonna show up in the game soon? Because it was in the trailer and it's undoubtedly connected to
He looks a bit
Nahida.
like Ishdahad too, which is weird.
Oh, you're right, but she, this tortoise, they look
Well, I don't know.
cuter.
Whatever.
They look cuter.
Well, yeah.
Look how cute it is.
I mean, but it's like the coloring and kind of like the general aesthetic looks like a simplified Ishdahad a bit.
It does. What if they're related? Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be kind of weird. Maybe it's a bishop.
Oh, I don't even know where to go from that because there's just so much. Dude, you just opened so many eyeballs in my brain. It's like third eye opening.
Why do you have eyeballs in your brain?
Third eye opening.
Are you opening?
Bishop, the idea of
I'm just kidding. It's fine.
Earth Bishop? Well, Dvalin is a bishop. Is Dvalin a bishop? I didn't think he was.
It's still vague, actually. I checked the Chinese, and
Are we just
the way it reads is it reads more like Enjo is suggesting that he's likening Dvalin to a bishop. But he's not like outright claiming, oh, he's definitely a bishop. He's just like, this is the thing that makes the most sense to him.
So are we assuming...
It's still a little vague, but whatever.
Are people saying that because we're assuming there's one dragon, quote unquote, in every region, and that's like a reincarnation version of like the new era's bishop or whatever? I don't know where... Because, okay, if you're going to go that route, and let's say Dvalin was, even though it's not very direct. There's one Dvalin in Mondstadt. There's one in Islandxd in Liyue. I don't know if there was one in Inazuma. I just know that there's a serpent.
There isn't, because Orobashi is said to be of the human realm. And bishops were all from the light realm.
Right.
That's where it gets questionable.
Hmm.
So even
Kokomi?
though he's...
Oh, maybe it's just Kokomi.
That could be it, because it's like the sovereign of water, right? So I guess it would be Kokomi, but we didn't have to fight her. Well, I guess, no, we didn't. We fought for her.
Maybe because we are of the people. But anyways, if that's true, let's say hypothetically that was true, then there should be one for Sumeru, and maybe this tortoise is the one, huh? Maybe.
That would be interesting.
But where does this all lead? This means, like, going all the way back, this turtle, if for some reason it does show up, I'm gonna suspect it's Nahida's story quest as a potentially a boss, or maybe we don't even have to fight it, but one way or another, Nahida's second story quest is, I don't know, I just don't know if there's like any other timeline of like, I don't think the tortoise is gonna show up in an arc conquest, because it's like, it's not something that progresses the story, it's more like a backdrop story, if that makes sense. That's actually very important. If that was the case, sure, but what about Venti's second story quest, whatever that happens? Who's gonna show up? Any speculations?
Decarabia.
A dead version?
Oh, remember, gods can't die.
That's not true. Is it?
It is. Yeah, they can have their like bodies destroyed and they can have their souls dispersed, but they're never like truly gone.
What about Makoto?
Yeah, she's dispersed.
Like her spirit, I guess?
Yeah, but it's also possible, like, there's a difference between like dying as in like I'm gonna stab you through the chest and your heart stopped beating.
Like physical versus metaphysical versus spiritual, I guess.
Versus Irminsul deletion. Right.
Are we considering Irminsul deletion as pure death?
Well, I mean, they don't exist anymore, so it's kind of questionable. But like the way I think about it, for Makoto specifically, she didn't die during a war. She died during the Conrian Cataclysm, in which something was going on that was super funky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she apparently used the powers of Istaroth called upon them in order to make this whole tree, right?
Yes.
So when you think about it, she might actually just be the tree. The sacred Sakura.
Yeah, it wasn't that big.
Because like her consciousness turned into the seed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like she's not dead. And even then, like even though she was dead, remember that A basically took her consciousness and put it into a sword. And A technically doesn't have a body anymore either. She destroyed her own body and then put her own consciousness into a sword that she then put into a puppet that looks like her. So like there's that. But then like even with Osile and stuff, right? Like you look at Osile and you're like, well, how come Zhongli didn't just kill him outright? How come he didn't just kill Beisht?
And then they came back.
Right? Yeah. Well, like a lot of them get sealed. Decarabia seems
Right.
like he got sealed in the bottom of Storm Terror's heart. That's why I'm saying like that kind of stuff. Because like Andreas is quote unquote dead. We still fight him every week.
But his spiritual's kind of like here still.
Right. Because like gods aren't bound by the rules of mortals.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, even Ajdaha,
So you think...
he's not technically dead. They sealed him.
Now I think about it, let's say Decarabian does come back in Venti's story quest, right? It's getting delayed. Well, I don't want to say it's getting delayed. I think it's purposely getting withheld for obvious reasons, right? Because if that's true and it's Decarabian story, it's gonna uncover too many things.
Probably.
Especially like in the Archon War and things.
Yeah, it's weird.
Durin chat's thing. Oh, somebody's spamming Durin. Why are you spamming Durin? Christian. What are you trying to get across, Christian? Is Durin a god? No. No. Isn't it just created by what's her face?
Yeah.
What about Havria Guijong? I think, I don't know. The whole point is their physical bodies.
Havria and Guizhong, okay? They might not actually be gods in the way that we see them. There's some evidence to suggest that both of them might have been Seelies.
I don't know anything about that. I have no information.
But the thing is like Havria's body was destroyed, but her salt's everywhere. And no one knows what happened to her spirit, but she didn't have a very strong will anyway. So she wasn't really gonna do a whole lot, right?
Don't say that about her.
Like,
don't you dare. So sad.
I'm not saying it's bad, but like you know, the Yaksha themselves were an organization that came about because all of the residual resentment and the bad will and all that kind of stuff from the gods lingered. And so they have to fight it. How do you fight something that's just like bad juju, right? It has to manifest in some ways. So if you think about it more like how Guoba could like split himself into all these little mini forms.
What about
think of it like if you were to attack the main body, it would just get split and then split and then split and then split, and so you're basically just trying to break it down until it's like smallest pieces. But
then what about the idea of the simplest term, as in God of Dust? Is that too literal? Are we thinking big picture here?
I don't understand the question.
Well, just saying, like, they do call them. I was thinking about what you were saying when you were talking, and I was like, that could be true, but it does also make it weird because I don't know who to believe anymore, because the game labels them as gods.
Well, Seelies can be gods. The only difference between a god and a non-god is whether or not they're worshipped as one. Because, like, Kitsune Saigyu was considered a goddess in a lot of ways, but she wasn't a goddess. She was just worshipped as one. That's canon and stated in a couple of different places.
I mean, I guess they could just be... There's a possibility of being both.
But then remember, like, Celes, the goddess of flowers...
Yeah, they could be both.
And she's called a goddess of flowers. So, like, Guizhong could be a goddess of dust and also a Seelie. Havria could be the goddess of salt and also a Seelie. Like, there's very little difference, right? It's just a label, like Archon. It's like a title.
Oh, then I have a question about this. That gives me a very interesting thought process.
Just my disclaimer. That's what it seems to be right now, because like nothing else makes sense at this point. Because like I'm not making up the whole thing of like gods cannot be killed. Like that's been stated a couple of times in the game already.
Here's my thought.
It's just hard.
I'm following you, right? I'm following you. Okay, so in the very beginning, we go all the way back, right? There were humans, right? This is like way back before the fall of Enconomia, those kind of things, right? When humans communed with the gods or whatever. Humans, and if I recall, if we go all the way back, there's the four shades which you could consider deities, right? And then there are humans. If I remember, there's nothing else that was described besides humans and gods, right? But on the same side, it's actually humans, things that existed, right? Besides the 3-4 shades, it's humans and Seelies. So I think when we say Seelies are gods, what if all the gods that we know now actually originated from the Seelies, like all of them? Because if we go all the way back, it doesn't specify. Like, we don't know where these gods came from. The only logical conclusion is either the shades of the primordial one or Seelies itself, right? Maybe one of the same. So what if the gods are all technically just Seelies to begin with? I think that's an interesting idea. Venti is a Seelie? Venti could be, but then again, it's not confirmed. We do see that little sprite version of Venti. So I see where everybody's like thinking that, and that is also very interesting. Wind spirit, but
how many of you have read the lore for Flowers of Artifacts or the Flowers of Paradise Lost?
The new one?
Yeah.
I read like a few of them.
I want to grab a line from there, which might help out a little bit.
Okay. Chat, if Venti is a wind spirit, right? Let's say, chat, if that's true, what's the thing that's withholding Venti or Wind Spirit from both being considered a Seelie? I'm not suggesting it is, but that is something to think about. Just because Venti is a Wind Spirit doesn't mean Wind Spirits aren't Seelies, and Venti being a god doesn't mean gods are Seelies, because this speculation also exists. It's very interesting.
Hang on, I'm trying to find the thing. It might not be in here. If it's not in here, then I'll have to find it later.
Yeah, so for what it's worth, I think by the time Venti's second story quest comes out, maybe some of these can be explained, like the Archon War, gods, Seelies. Because lately we've been getting a lot of Seelie lore, which I found really fun.
Man, I swear it was in this set.
Venti is a pure elemental being. That's true, but if you think about it, Seelies are also pure elemental beings because they can freaking change to whatever environment they have energy.
It's true. They can adapt.
Yeah.
They can adapt. But the interesting thing is that they don't adapt in the way that you think they would. They adapt in a way that helps the humans that are in the area.
That's true.
Because like if you look at a crystal fly, for example, right? You go to Dragonspine, the Dragonfly and crystal spines are all cryo.
Crystal.
But the Seelies are pyro. Then you go in the chasm, and they've evolved to give off light.
You're right.
You go to Sumeru, and you see the Seelies like in the corrupted zones, and they are Seelies of life, and they purify corruption.
Ooh.
Right? If you go to Inazuma, the
Fivehead.
Seelies turn Electro to help you navigate around the world. So like the Seelies evolve in a way that helps the humans that are in that area.
That's Fivehead. I like that. That's really cool.
I can't find this fucking thing. Sorry. I'm not supposed to swear on your stream.
I swear all the time. Fuck!
Oh, okay. Okay, that's true. Maybe it was in the other...
Digimon Evolution. Oh my god, please.
These new artifact sets go so hard, though.
Yeah, I read some of it. I'm like, holy crap. Not right now. That's what I told myself.
I can't wait for the next set of desert lore. Okay, it's not in this one. It has to be in a different place. I don't remember where it is. It's gonna have to be later.
It's fine. So potentially Venti. Okay, what to get out of all this, chat? Potentially, I don't know how this conversation came to this point, but potentially Venti, Seelie question mark, Seelies evolve, pure elemental beings, pure elemental beings. But then it all came from, dude, maybe everything can be explained with the whole concept of Archon's second story quest, and Nahida and Venti, they could be very important relating to one another. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. By the way, I had another random topic or thought last night. So
what was that?
let me put this into words. Let me put it into words in my brain before I speak. Basically, so Tavad exists, right? And
Does it though?
it's all a dream. It's all fake. It's all a big bubble. So Tavad exists as a, let's say Earth. Let's use the Earth as a simple analogy here, right? And because of Earth, or what we perceive of Earth, what we know about the dimensions of life or structure of the world in real life, there is a physical law, right? About our world. And you can just physics. There's gravity, there's those kind of things, right? time, how time flows, and that cannot be changed within our universe, right? We don't know all the answers to it, but it like there's a rule. There's certain rules when it comes to this universe.
Yeah.
We don't know all of it,
Okay.
obviously.
Sure. That's a pretty bold statement, but sure. Okay.
It says the reason why I'm saying it that way is because there's a world with
to put it on the entire universe is where I'm kind of like I struggle a little bit because like the laws of physics that we put on Earth and like our general immediate solar system don't appear to always be true everywhere else.
That's true, and that's because there's a big okay, let me reorganize my thought. What we know about our perception of the physical world, we attach physical laws to them. Is that a better way to say it?
Mm-hmm.
But in science, there's a theory about the whole concept. Now, I'm not gonna get into Honkai, but there's a whole theory of there exists an what do you call it, multiverse, where potentially physical laws will be completely different. That's the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Multiverse, different laws, potentially. We don't know, but it's not proven at all. But that's the idea. Now, let's say our real world is Teyvat, right?
Sure.
My thought process last night, I was thinking about this, is what about the Abyss? Because I feel like there's two ways of looking at the Abyss. A different dimension in its entirety, which sounds more reasonable. And then the other way of looking at it is literally like a fucking basement in Teyvat. I don't think that is the case, because you do have to go through portals to get to the Abyss. First of all, what do you thought about that? What do you think? Do you think the Abyss is a different dimension all by itself, which personally I think it is? Or do you think it's like a deeper underneath level of the earth of Teyvat?
I think it's the Sheol.
A what?
The Sheol. Hang on. Let me get a thing here.
Sheol?
I put this in Discord. Here you go. Have a thingy.
What is this?
This is based on a Hebrew worldview, cosmology. The way it's kind of like an underworld, but it's also kind of not. But it's considered to be at the center of the earth, and it's basically like this giant mass of endless darkness.
The underworld.
Yeah, more or less.
The reason why I was thinking about this honestly yesterday is because there's one major difference between Teyvat and the Abyss, and it's obviously a fact. It's just the time flows differently, right? I was thinking about that, and I was like, wait, if time works differently, then there's a possibility that Teyvat and Abyss, they have literally different physical laws. So I was like, wait, does this connect to like it being a completely different dimension with the idea of a different...
I don't know if it's a different dimension, because at that point you're actually going to have to locate Irminsul itself, because we know that the branches of Irminsul can reach through to that, because you can literally find ley lines into that, right? You can do, open the ley line blossoms and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that their branches go through to that, but we also know that the roots of Irminsul stretch into the Abyss. So wherever Irminsul is has to be the same dimension that the Abyss is, unless Irminsul is crossing multiple dimensions.
Is that because the tree exists in the Abyss itself, right? The domains, like all that stuff.
I mean, it could. It's hard to say, but it could.
It might be one of those things where we push it off as just game mechanics. For instance, the tree being in like the domains or the Abyss or whatever. But then there's probably a lore connection to it. Because I always like talk to people about this. and they say, bro, it's just a game mechanic, you're thinking too hard. But usually they do explain it in a lore way. But if the Abyss exists in the Abyss or if the Irminsul tree does exist in the Abyss and Tavad, and if they're the same dimensions, then it's easy to explain. They just reach everywhere, the tree. But if it's different dimension, it also makes sense because the Irminsul tree... Fuck, I wasn't gonna go here, but in Honkai, imaginary tree does connect to multiverses. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
Do I want to go down that route? I don't know. I'm always like hesitant.
I don't know if they're really the same thing. I think if anything though, like
I don't think they're the
both
same.
Represent the same thing. But it's like Irminsul is basically like a reflection of the imaginary tree, right? Like it's like emulating what it does.
Yeah.
But it's not doing the same things.
It's not the same. That's like definitely, I agree.
So it's a little hard to compare them because like then you'd have to say that the Abyss is the Sea of Quanta, and then you get into a real fun.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know if you really want to go there.
All I know
can.
is they reflect each other in some way, but they're not identical. Because once we start calling it identical, we go into a headache and a war. I'm not about that life.
I think they're similar in that like their function is probably similar.
Yeah.
But I think the reach of Irminsul and the Abyss are quite less vast.
Sure.
It's not as big, not as much. Because like otherwise it's gonna get real messy. Because I mean we saw what happened with Thus Spoke Apocalypse, right? Like we know what can happen if that is not the case.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of anyway.
My thing broke. It's not working.
What thing?
My pad.
Your notepad?
My Illustrator.
You're an illustrator?
I am using Illustrator.
Why?
Because there's only one reason. I swear. Do you want to know why reason? It's actually really stupid. Usually I use Paint. Now Paint's not a perfect program, but it's just very simple and easy to use, right?
Yeah.
There's one function in this program where I can just change the background of the paper. The color.
Why don't you just use the fill bucket in Paint?
I try, but once you start erasing things,
you don't erase. You just change the color of the pencil.
the thing is, if you can do that, but like you can never get the same color.
This is a vector program.
This just works, man.
Okay, you know what? I am no longer questioning why you're having issues with 16 gigabytes of DDR5 in your computer anymore. I'm not questioning it anymore. I get it. I understand now.
Hey, for what it is, my computer doesn't crash on Theory Thursdays, all right?
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, Paint doesn't do what you think it will do. I tried everything. I tried making the page a different color, but then what happens is once you start writing and you want to erase your writing by putting another brush over it instead of erasing it, the color doesn't save. So it's the different color and it's annoying. I tried, man. Trust me.
The artist in me is dying a little bit just on the inside. I hope you know that.
Trust me, bro.
No.
Bro, no. Trust me.
No. No. No.
Have you tried Paint Tool Sai? Yeah, I did, but it had the same problem. In Paint Tool Sai, SAI or whatever, you can't change the background of the paper.
You just put it on a new layer. Don't give me that.
I didn't think about that. I was very... that was too much work. That's too much work.
You click one button. You
Too
fill
much
it with the
work.
color you want. It's
Nope.
literally less clicks
Nope.
than changing the canvas color on
Nope.
Illustrator. It's literally less clicks.
Nope.
It
Too
is
much
less
work.
clicks.
I know it is,
Less
but too much work. Trust
Oh my
me,
God.
bro. Bro, trust me.
No. There's no trust. You broke my trust when you used Illustrator to take notes.
What's wrong with Illustrator? I know Adobe programs
Oh
suck
my God.
ass, but
It's a vector program.
what? What's wrong with me drawing on a vector program? I think
Why
it's
would
fine.
you? Do you need it to be infinitely scalable?
Yes,
Why?
because you never know.
Never know what.
I might print this smiley face and put it behind me in a wall in a
Just
very
save
large
it at
scale.
600 DPI. You'll be fine.
I don't know what kind of language you're speaking right now.
Oh my God.
What do you
Pain
DPI?
in
What
my
do you
soul.
mean?
I'm sorry, chat. The pain in my soul of souls is like
Listen,
the worst period cramps. Half of your audience will get that.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly. Half of your audience will get that.
What the fuck? Anyways, so how was your day? I'm taking a break from theory. My brain hurts.
How was your day? Well, I had a meeting I didn't really pay attention to.
Nice.
And while I'm talking to you, I'm also doing my monthly analytics reports.
For your work?
Yep.
Damn, you're so busy.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens. Par for the course.
What's up, Craig? Feeling well? Yeah, I'm feeling good. I woke up finally. Somebody asked who's younger. I don't want to answer that question because nobody knows
Who's
my
younger?
age.
Island's younger than me.
Did you tell people your age?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because nobody knows my age. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He's younger than me. I won't tell you by how much, but he's younger than me.
Oh no, now everybody's just trying to like make this narrative that I'm the younger brother.
I won't comment.
From this argument? Okay. The way you speak.
Still Grandpa Island. Yeah. See, okay, but Grandpa is a state of mind.
Are you saying I just think old?
No, some people just have grandpa vibes. It's kind of like when you're the mom friend, even if like you're the youngest one there. Maybe you don't have that problem because you're not ladies, but
What?
You've never been in a friend group and you're just like the mom friend reminding all of your friends, hey, drink water. Hey, go to bed. Hey, what are you doing? Go shower. You've never been that person?
Mom friend? What is mom
Yeah,
friend? The
mom
friend
friend.
of my mom?
No, it's like when you're in the friend group and none of your friends
Oh,
like,
and then
take
they're
care of
trying to be
themselves,
your
and you're
mom.
like, no, you're trying to be their mom because you're telling them to take care of themselves. Hey, did you eat
Oh.
today? Did you take your meds?
Yeah.
That.
Okay.
That's the mom friend.
I see. Chat, you guys don't understand. I'm very... what's the best way to put this without putting myself down too much? Because that's a terrible thing to do. I'm dumb, chat. But I'm only smart with things I care about, okay?
Let me do an instant replay of that. How do I say this without putting myself down too much? Because putting myself down is bad. Hey, I know how. I'm dumb.
Selective dumbness. There you go. That's the word. Selective dumbness.
Oh my god.
Like we talked about this before. When people around me, my friends, like real life friends, they talk about like celebrities, like gossiping about celebrity culture, those kind of things. I have no idea what they're talking about because I don't.
Oh, I don't either.
I don't know who they are.
Kid though, that's my excuse.
Then what about like I don't know. I always feel excluded from conversations because my interest level isn't there, which is fine, right? If you're not interested in something, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But usually I feel left out, so I feel dumb. So like not in a like I don't care, but I'm just like whatever. And then usually I'm very quiet, and I'm happy that I'm quiet because I don't like socializing anyway.
I mean, like, I feel like that whenever people come and talk to me after being on Twitch all day, and like half the words they say, I'm like, the frig is that?
Right. Especially these Zoomer online lingos. I tried learning them. Every time I say it, I feel kind of like part of me dies inside. Like if I say Sag, part of me dies inside every time. But it's like the one way to communicate with the internet world.
Well, it's funny because it's just saying sad, but with global emote on the end, and I'm kind of like still trying to process why that's being spoken aloud. It's kind of like when someone goes LOL, like for real, like when they're talking to you, and you're
Oh
like,
my God.
why didn't you just laugh? Just laugh.
I think it's
Don't lull at
because
me.
Stop lolling, chat. Stop lolling, all of you. Stop lamowing. Stop sagging. Stop lolling. Cringe. Dies of cringe. It's too much. Keck W's. Keck L's. Oh, there's too many. And then
Well,
I had
it
to.
also doesn't help that like a lot of it's really funny 'cause, like I work at a digital marketing agency, and so like I've actually gone into meetings with my coworkers and I've said, man, what a Chad move, and I've had every single one of my coworkers look at me and be like, who's Chad?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, how do I explain this? Right, and then I don't know, like I'm sitting here looking at my Google Analytics report, looking at wows and mows and dows and stuff like that for user stickiness, and the only thing I can think of half the time is like all these memes I get sent where it's like, wow, much success, that kind of stuff, like Doge stuff. It's like half my acronyms have been completely usurped by random meme jargon, and it's just so funny. Me trying to make an analytics report, also failing because everything's a meme.
I don't. This meme culture difficult to follow. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
There's some memes that I
am
see
a
and I
millennial,
get,
that's
but
true.
What is millennial? 2000
Generation.
before? Isn't there a year frame?
No, millennials older than 2000 there, buddy. 2000 is Gen Z.
Oh.
Millennials
Holy
are the one
shit.
before that. Yeah, you're a millennial, my dude.
No, I'm not. I'm a
Yeah,
Gen Z.
you are.
Chat, I'm a
I
Gen
don't
Z.
think so.
I was
don't think
born
so.
after the year 2000. I'm actually turning 21. For you guys don't know.
Yeah, no. You're my generation there, bud. You are my gen. My gen.
I can start drinking now, chat. This month.
Okay, but you know, anyone in your chat who knows even a little bit about your history will know it's impossible for you to be a Gen Z.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I do.
Well, I think you should pretend you don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Wait. Okay, I'm not gonna tell everybody my age, but
You don't have, no, but listen. You've already had a career.
this is my first career.
No, it's not there, buddy. No, it's not.
Look, let me be in denial, okay? Let me
the
stay in
benefit of an
denial.
Irminsul rewrite outside of a game world.
Oh my god, dude, you're such a nerd.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a nerdy podcast.
I'm cringing, Chad. I'm not old. Look, I said the cringe word.
I didn't say you were old. I just said you're part of the same generation of me.
Okay. I'll say. Chat. You know when you first saw the acronyms LMAO? Do you remember? Do you recall the first time you ever saw the acronym LMAO? Think about that for a second.
I don't.
You don't?
No. Why would I remember that?
Well, here's my thought. When I
That
first
was
saw
like in
it,
elementary school. Do you know how long ago that was?
well, I will say when I first saw the acronym LMAO, I didn't know what it meant. I guess it doesn't really explain anything. I'm just saying basically I'm stupid. I said
That's what most people would have though. Like I feel like that's most people's experience.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm the
why
type
would they
who
know?
read it for what it was. Like I thought it was lame-o. I didn't know what it was, and I thought it was lame-o. I was like, yo, does that word mean lame? Because it looks like lame-o.
Well,
I
think Raffle is older than LMAO.
I
Back
thought
in,
they were
like,
at the same
the
time.
AOL Instant Messenger's day, I was pretty sure that Raffle was the one everyone was using, and then later it was LMAO. Because Raffle didn't have a swear word in it.
LMFAO? Not that version?
No, that was added later. That was
Right,
added
I
later.
do remember that.
No, this was like back in the area where like you would go on AIM and you would be like texting people on it, and you'd be like, "Hey, ASL."
Oh,
and it
I'm
didn't stand for American
cringing.
Sign Language. It stood for age, sex, and location.
I'm cringing.
Like that was a long time ago. Back when America Online used to send people CDs in the mail for free, give you a bunch of free hours of America Online.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Scam.
I had a server in my basement. It was great.
Chat, how many of you used AIM before? I'm just curious. I know.
Raffle means rolling on the floor laughing, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
In case there's some people in here who don't know what that is.
I noticed that like my audience and your audience probably very similar in terms of the age group. I think a lot of them are between the ages of like 24 to like 32. A lot of them.
Mine are a bit older, actually. I think mine are a little older.
Like 35. That was I don't know the range that was given in the back end of the analytics, but
I'm curious. I wanted to look, actually. Yeah, okay, 18 to 34 seems about right.
yeah, that's
But
majority.
I have more people who are age 35 to 44 than age 13 to 17, which is funny.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think that's great. That means like at least I don't feel alone making these old ass fucking jokes. Boomerness. My boomerness is okay.
Oh, hey, look, all these ages in the chat. Wow, that's a lot.
I feel like some of you are lying.
44, 19, 17, 15, 27, 35, 27, 20, 20, 52, 16. Yeah. It's a pretty wide range.
Yeah, you're 80, you're definitely lying. There's no way you're
Have you ever
80.
seen Streamer Grandma?
I've seen that. Okay, somebody has 19,000. No, not okay. I just baited myself into this conversation. Ding.
My organic social just dropped off a cliff this month. Holy cow.
Oh my god, it's a bot. Oh, it's a bot. Remove.
Is it a sexy bot?
Nah, just adult chat. Not even sexy, just adult chat. We're not adults. What's up, Wei? I was about to sign up. We don't belong in the adult chat world. We play games with husbandos and waifus.
You know what, though? Escapism has been a thing for people for forever.
Sure.
I'm talking going back thousands. Like when you really think about it, I got thinking about this the other day. I was looking at like the wall carvings for Egyptian gods and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I just had a thought, like, man, look at this like snake that has human legs and feet, because it's like the funniest looking thing. Like, just in hindsight, I could send it to you.
What are you? Okay.
I'll show you. You'll understand where I'm going with this.
All right. I'll be patient. Chat, for what it's worth. Chat, for what it's worth, this is supposed to be a Theory Thursday, but since it's Ashkan, we're just chilling. I hope you guys don't mind. What the fuck is this?
We'll go back to theories. Okay, this is an actual Egyptian god. His name's Nehebku or Nehebkau. I think it's Nehebkau. I'm not very good at Egyptian.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is, I was looking at this. I'm just like, man, like these characters from ancient Egyptian religion are just such interesting designs. And then I had to pause because I had just opened Twitter. And the first thing on there was a picture of someone's fursona. And I was like, you know what? Humans don't change much over thousands of years, do they?
What the fuck?
Like, when you really stop to think about it, it's like we're worshiping these, in these ancient cultures, they would have been worshiping these deities, and they would have been telling stories about them and making legends and writing songs and doing theatrical performances. And then I'm like, don't we do the same thing when we go to Disney World? Right? Like, we're talking about Mickey Mouse, we're watching him do performances on stage, we're dressing up with him in idolatry with the little mouse ears and the logos on the t-shirts, and we're humming the songs, and like you start to think about it, you're just like, humans don't really change much.
Dude,
just
like
the labels that change.
4,000 years from now, like far into future, if we're still alive, our existence hasn't completely disintegrated, they're gonna look back at like videos and pictures of us, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
What is this amusement park you speak of?
That's
what are
the
these?
funny part. That's why I'm saying, like, humans just don't change much. Like, we can say all we want, but like we've always been like this, man.
I guess so.
We've always had
Yeah.
these. It's just the natural evolution of it,
Anyway.
This is funny. This is cute. Look at this snake with feet.
Nehebkau, he's fun.
That's the name. What's the name?
Nehebkau.
Nehebkau.
Yep. Nehebkau.
A
I'll write it
god.
out for you.
A snake god.
Nehebkau. That one.
Nehebkau. A snake god with
Yep.
feet.
And human legs, but no knees. He only has human shins. He has no knees.
Dude, who came up with this is my question. They're probably high as hell.
I mean, like, take a look. Like, the rest of the art isn't much better. It's just really funny.
Somebody must have been high as fuck. What is this? I mean, I'm looking at it. It just doesn't make any sense. Wait, this one has knees. That's cute. Look at the knee. Look at the little cute knee.
Yeah, but that's what's funny. Yeah, I was looking at some of these older things.
It's Mobius.
Here's an actual carving, if that's helpful.
Huh.
Yeah. So anyway, fun stuff. Humans don't change much over time. That's a lie. If anyone tells you different, they're full of crap. So, yep.
Anywho. Is your brain less tired? Do we go back to lore now?
Sure, I don't mind. I'm just it's just a drowsy day. It's raining.
Well, maybe where you are.
Yeah, it's I hate when it rains cuz I like the rain, but it makes my body and mind super laggy. Don't know why.
You gotta get up and do some jumping jacks there, buddy. Get the blood flowing.
Yes, Mom.
See, now you understand the mom friend.
I do.
Exactly.
I've learned. Let's see. I want to see if we can talk about something really, really random for Genshin lore.
Really random. Why don't you take some suggestions from chat then?
Sure. Chat, this is your time.
Pick a topic, any topic. Well, I mean Genshin topic. Should be a Genshin topic.
Kaya is a Disney princess. Thank you for that topic.
Nope, GT metrics is still down. It's unfortunate. All right, well.
Islandxd. That's not Genshin topic.
That is not a Genshin topic. Does not count. Harbingers, Deshret, master of all the I read it as elephants. Yep. Scaramouche having emotions. I mean, that was a given. Clean mom.
This is a good topic.
Alice, Deshret lore,
I got a good
melancholy.
topic. This is from chat. This is from chat.
I have a TCG theory I can share, but I've already shared it once, but it might be fun to share it with your audience too.
This is we can do that, but I do want to talk about this first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Baiju.
He doesn't exist. What are you talking about? We don't have a character named Baiju.
Oh, sorry. Erminsoul erased? Okay, okay. There you go. There you go, chat.
Like,
Erminsoul.
I feel so bad for Baiju fans, man.
Baiju got Erminsoul. That's the
So
verb we
bad
should
for them.
use now.
Like we knew they had a general release date, like when Dendro would come out, but then like Dendro's been out for 3 batches, and there's still no sign of him, and I just feel awful for anyone who's been waiting for him. I can't believe we have Scaramouche before we have Baiju. That's ridiculous. I don't get me wrong. Like, I love my little dude, but like, still, I'm confused.
Do you think they buried him? Not like physically, but like, like figuratively. Do you think they literally buried him?
Listen, they made us wait 2 years for Scaramouche. So here's how I see it: 2 years for Scaramouche, and we got a really good payoff for it. Right?
It did. Yes, yeah. It was good.
We got a really good payoff for it. There's some sloppiness in the execution that still kind of irks me, but that's a Hoyo thing. Whatever. So I'm wondering if they're gonna do the same thing for Baiju. If like he's gonna have a really big payoff.
I don't know, cause
He needs to though. Like he really needs to.
I agree.
Been too long.
I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it. But my thought was, who's more popular, right? Scaramouche or Baiju? I think there's a clear answer.
That matters so much because like think of like what if it really is true that Baiju and Pantalone are like the same or at least very much related, right? Like that's gonna hype people up and make him very popular. Maybe not the same level of Scaramouche popularity because you're technically looking at 2 different fan bases that are gonna have to like mesh together, whereas Scaramouche fans did not really have to do that, except for the ones that were like completely convinced he was going to be Electro.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a pretty small percentage.
Chat, any of you like have been saving for Baiju for a very long time? I'm very curious.
Him, but if he comes out at a decent time, I'll probably pick him up.
I probably pull a couple times, but there, you know how every character like that's not released, there's like a huge fandom, a group of people that just been constantly saving.
I know a lot of Baiju fans who have been waiting.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying no, but there are several that has been saying yes. Senora Mains, listen.
I'll also say this. Listen, we're getting Yao Yao, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now that like statistically speaking, Yao Yao should be a healer because every I can't call him lolly. The thing is like they're actually called lolly in the file name.
Yes.
But every little girl character, except for Klee, is a healer. All of them, without exception. Even Dory, who is not a little girl but uses the same model.
Wait,
right?
Healers? You're saying healers? Who's?
Yeah.
How are they
the
healers?
Girls are healers.
How about Nahida?
Right, I guess Nahida. Well, Nahida's kind of more like Klee.
Because they're elves.
Okay, well, still, statistically speaking, 2 out of how many are there? So we've got like those 2, then we've got Sayu, we've got Chi-Chi, we've got
I don't know if
Tori,
the correct thing is healers, because
Iona. No, listen. That's 4. How many more are there?
hold on, I'll look it up.
My brain is farting. Yeah, because there's Sayu, Diona, Chi-Chi, and... Looking at a list is not helping me. And there's Tori. Yeah, okay, so 4 out of 6 are healers. There's a strong possibility, statistically speaking, that Yao Yao will also be a healer.
When you say
Right.
healer, do you mean literal heal, or are you saying support cast?
No, all of them are healers. They all
Sayu
heal
heals?
HP. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
on her burst.
Oh, Sayu heal? Chat, does Sayu heal? Am I dumb?
Oh my god.
Her ult heals. So the only ones Klee and
Nahida.
Nahida, but I mean,
Those are
I
the
guess
only 2, but then those are elves, and we don't know
Yeah.
what that's anyway. That's not even the point. The point is like prior to Nahida, all of them except for Klee were healers. So statistically speaking, Yao Yao is likely to be a healer.
How about the Luke?
So, what?
How about the Luke?
What about what? What? Deluxe's not a little girl.
Yeah, he is. Look at him.
What?
That's so. I pulled a picture. This is the picture I have on my stream right now. What the? Well, I just randomly found it. What about
Okay,
the
but
Luke?
that's a little boy.
So little.
It doesn't count. Anyway, my point is that statistically speaking, she's more likely to be a healer than not.
Sure,
and
statistically, sure, I'm following.
Dendro, and also Dendro as an element really needs a healer right now. Especially because Nilu.
Yeah, but Dendra just
So,
came
like-
out. I'm sure they'll get one.
Yeah, eventually, but like I'm just saying, like statistically there's that. And then Baiju is a doctor, so it makes sense for him to be a healer, right? So if you look at them, I think it's very possible that being a 5-star healer, I'm guessing,
Baiju.
because he's a doctor. If he's not a healer, that's gonna be funny. He'll be quite valued even by people who haven't been saving for him, because the only things that'll matter are his Dendro application and whether or not he can output a moderate amount of healing. Those are the only 2 things that'll matter. So I think that even for people who haven't been saving for Baiju, I think a lot of people will pull for him regardless. Because like the thing about Scaramouche is that like he's an Anemo hypercarry DPS unit, right? And you don't really need an Anemo hypercarry, right? But like healers are quite useful. Supports are quite useful. You can get a lot of mileage out of supports. You can get less mileage out of a DPS unit.
Yeah, but
So like Scaramouche gets carried a lot on his popularity and just the fact that he can fly as a gimmick. Baiju will have a much easier time because he's Dendro, and if Yao Yao for some reason is not a healer, then he'll be the only Dendro healer, and a lot of people will want that, especially for Nilu teams.
well, besides the meta portion of it, I'm always was curious.
Just saying.
What you think healers are more popular than DPS characters?
In the case of Dendro, because Dendro is a support element mostly,
see.
like it's mostly
Yeah.
made to be a catalyst for other reactions. Like the Dendro application matters, and I can't foresee Baiju being anything beyond a catalyst. Can you? So he'll have really good Dendro application just on the fact that he can do it with his normal attacks whenever he swaps in.
Sure.
But like if he has any level of off-field Dendro application, not even at Nahida's level, but like, you know, thereabouts, then he'd be a really good meta pick, especially if he can consolidate a healer slot. Because he doesn't need to heal a ton, but he needs to heal some, especially because blooms and burgeons and stuff, they do self-damage.
I do think there is a possibility that
Nilu
Baiju. I do think there's a possibility that Baiju has a sword. because there's a lot of times I thought a character like Nilu, I thought she would have been a catalyst, but she was a sword user. I'm like, huh, that's interesting.
But Nilu, I got educated by my comments on this. The reason I thought she was going to be a catalyst was because a lot of her dance movements focus on her fingers.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So I thought like if she used anything else, it would be kind of weird. But my chat said, listen, Persian sword dancing is a big cultural thing.
Yeah.
And that's why they went that way. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. But I don't see any sort of cultural symbolism where Baiju would somehow have a sword. I don't know of any point in Chinese history where like doctors or practitioners of Chinese medicine were brandishing swords. And it was like some sort of notable cultural thing.
Maybe a bow.
I have no idea. Yeah, maybe a bow. I could see a bow.
Okay. Well.
Or a spear, but he doesn't actually attack with it. It's just like a healing staff.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
But I still think Catalyst makes more sense for him, just based on how Genshin designs characters. But
Baiju shows up. He shows up with acupunctures.
Acupuncture needles, yeah.
Where does it hurt?
That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah, just add a new weapon type, acupunctures. Easy life. All right, so Chi-Chi. Baiju Chi-Chi. This is like always hinted ever since the beginning. There's not a lot of information about it. Their information does exist. A good big chunk, but not a lot enough to make trying to figure out what the hell's going on between Baiju and Chi-Chi. It seems like Baiju is nice to Chi-Chi, but it seems always felt as if there was an ulterior motive, right?
Yes. We know what that ulterior motive is.
I thought it was just to see if Baiju can like fix his, problems with his health or like
Baiju
be immortal.
is pursuing immortality.
Yes.
And Chi-Chi is immortal.
So the question is why Baiju is seeking immortality. Before Sumeru, I thought he had Elazar, but it turns out Elazar was cured now, so that kind of takes it out of the picture. Unless, of course, I made a joke about this. When Elazar was cured, Baiju wasn't in Sumeru, and he got shafted.
That would be kind of funny. Okay, so here's kind of my
illness. We'll call it illness.
Here's my thought process on that, and why I think the Pantalone Baiju thing is actually becoming more likely as time goes on. Scaramouche has a line. Let's see if I can grab it real quick.
By the way, what is the reason in your eyes as to why Baiju has a snake on himself, which is literally long life? I think there's many different reasons. The simplest answer is there's lore aspects to it. There's a symbolic aspect to it. And then there's probably very deep, direct story relevancy to it in the game.
Look up the myth of the white snake.
I am very familiar, yeah. You guys should all read it if you do have time and you're curious. That is very interesting. That story. But yeah.
There's a nice TED Ed little animated piece on YouTube that's only like 4 or 5 minutes or so that if you guys are even remotely interested in, you should go take a look at. Okay. I was looking through Scaramouche's voice lines, and he has one on Regrater or Pantalone. Scara says that he's obsessed with the idea of fair exchange, which is interesting because equivalent exchange, if you've ever watched or read Full Metal Alchemist, is like the fundamental principle of alchemy.
Scaramouche is saying this about...
The point of alchemy is like the Philosopher's Stone, which is this thing that grants you immortality. And I just thought that was funny. I don't think that's actually what they're going for here, but I think it's funny.
Inspired, more or less.
Maybe.
But again, Full Metal Alchemist is inspired from alchemy in general anyway, so...
Right, yeah. I just think it's funny because like that's a pop culture reference. I could go into like this whole spiel on how Hoyo is actually referencing so many cult classics though in anime.
Yeah.
Like like ones you wouldn't even expect. It's kind of anyway.
All right.
But that's like a whole nother. But what I was say? Okay, so Scara said that Pantalone is obsessed with the idea of fair exchange to the point where he's wanting to overthrow the natural imbalance between gods and humans. So what's the difference between a god and a human? Well, a god is immortal. A human isn't, for one. And we also know that Pantalone is working very closely with the Doctor. And what is the Doctor able to do? He's able to take snapshots of himself at different points in time and put them into robo shadow puppet bodies.
Yeah, segments.
Right. So think about that for a minute. There's a lot of immortality themes there.
Now, how does
Right?
this relate to Baiju? By who?
Because Baiju looks a lot like Pantalone, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, Dotori has robot bodies. There is nothing to suggest that Baiju is a real body. He might not actually be sick at all. He might
Wait, is
just
this one
be
of
a
your
remote
tinfoil
control
hats?
puppet. It's a little bit, yeah, but like it's starting to gain weight, which I think is funny.
Interesting. I'll keep my eyes open for this. Okay,
Because-
continue.
Changsheng does mean long life. We're looking at trying to overthrow the imbalance between gods and humans, and he's working with the Torre. So, like, all of those things make Pantalone feel very similar to Baiju in terms of how to say
So you're
just their
saying,
motivations.
yeah,
And then
you're
also, Pantalone runs the Northland Bank in Liyue. Baiju runs the Boo Boo Pharmacy. And when we went to the Boo Boo Pharmacy with Zhang Li did not know Baiju, which is a little bit weird.
or he's
considering that
lying.
He's supposed to know everyone. Right. So there's that. But there's a lot of connections with Pantalone and Liyue, just in general. So you start to see where the tinfoil hat starts to become a little less tinfoil, a little bit more silver.
I think
I mean, it's still out there, but like there's a distinct possibility now. It's not even that crack anymore.
I think there's a reason for this. For personally, I have no knowledge of this to be direct connection here, but I think for what it is, there is a reflection. It's like a, what's the word for it? Is it?
I
Just
can't read your mind.
A mirroring. It's just I feel like there is a mirroring between Pentole and the Torre and the Baiju and Changsheng. It's a mirroring concept.
Well, the thing about Dottore and Pantalone is that in the
Parallel.
Comedia, in the Comedia, they are often the same character, or they are working very closely together. Like in the Comedia itself, those two characters are very closely intertwined.
In what?
Like-
Commedia?
In the Commedia dell'arte.
Oh. Okay. I thought you said something else. Okay, go on.
No, that's what I mean. Like to the point where they're almost the same character sometimes, and sometimes they actually are the same character.
Yes, but sometimes they also take form of two different characters combined.
Two different characters combined.
Yes.
Do you want to rephrase that?
Like some of the Fatui members reflect like two Comma dell'arte archetypes of characters, like more than just single one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because
Which one? Because that's a pretty bold claim, and I personally haven't seen that, so I'm curious why you'd make the
characteristics.
statement.
For example, I mean, Senora was one of them. When I went back and when I was researching about it,
What's wrong with Senora?
there's nothing wrong. It's just there's like she has a characteristics
no, I mean with her
of
characterization.
she has characteristics of what was the main one? This might be copium, but it's like no, was it Columbina? No. What was it? What was the main archetype for Senora? I forget. There was a name for it. Am I gonna look this up? Oh shit. Commedia dell'arte.
So the thing is I think what you're thinking of is that Senora can be Capitano.
Yes, but there's also in the Commedia dell'arte. I don't know how much true this is, but out of these characters, there's more archetypes of characters that's beyond these main character types. Is what I'm trying to say. Like there's a witch, for instance, those kind of things. If you know what I mean.
I mean, yes, but we're only looking at 11 that are primary, and all of them so far are pretty close to what they're supposed to be. So the thing about the Harbingers in the Commedia is that there are two ways that they're being characterized. The first way is that they are perfectly embodying their role within the play, which is different from their archetype, because their archetype is like their personal traits, right?
I see what
For
you're
example,
saying. Yeah.
Capitano in the Commedia is a coward. He's a braggart. He's, you know, like he's kind of a drunkard a lot of the time. And he's, you know, he's not like a stand-up, right, captain. And then you compare him to Genshin's Capitano, and like everyone else is singing Capitano's praises. This guy is like so prideful. He fights with such ambition and grace and all that other kind of stuff that like he's revered, right? So his archetype is completely different from the Commedia. However, his role as the military general is still the same. Tartaglia, or Tartaglia, sorry, for some reason, the word Tartaglia makes me stutter, which is funny because it does mean stutterer. But the thing about Tartaglia is that as an archetype, he's not a blumbering, stupid, kind of stuttering, shy kind of character, right? Like he that's not what Child is at all.
Yeah. That's why that
But
thing confuses me.
What Tartaglia is in the Commedia is a scapegoat. And if you look at Tartaglia in Genshin, he's a scapegoat. The Harbingers send him on the missions that they don't want to go on. They use him as their like,
oh shit.
You know, like Senora used him in the Liyue quest, right? Like she was just like, I'm gonna like use you as a pawn. You just go be my foot soldier. Like he's the scapegoat. Things get pinned on him. He's if you look like he's forced to do debt collection in his character teaser, and he's like, this is so beneath me. I am a harbinger, right? So you look at it from that perspective and you start to see what they're doing. And that's why I don't think they're actually a mix of two characters. Is because their role and their archetypes are different. Their archetype is flipped, but their role is the same.
So let's focus on the Pantalone's role and go back to the regards of Baiju. What is Pantalone's role?
He's the money man.
And then we're referring that to the bank. We're talking about the guy with the dark hair with glasses, right? If I recall correctly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He runs the bank. The thing about Pantalone in Genshin is that he resents money. He grew up very poor, like Ningguang. But instead of learning to like capitalism and find ways of, you know, bettering yourself through it, Pantalone began to resent it. And so when he started to acquire wealth, he's doing so with the intent of bringing down the system. Which is very different from what Pantalone in the Commedia does, because Pantalone in the Commedia loves his money, sings songs to it, polishes it every night, goes, oh, money, 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 money. You know, like he loves his money.
That is weird. Why though?
So
I wonder.
What? Why the Commedia loves his money?
No, why they're different?
Well, they're all different. Every single one of them. Like, you know.
Are we talking about the characteristics or the role?
The role is the same. Like, he's the money man.
I see.
Both
Okay,
places.
I see what you're saying.
But
yeah.
the archetype is different because, like, his traits are different.
Right,
He doesn't love money. He hates it. But he's using money to, you know, achieve his goals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wondering where the citation comes from, it comes from the Pale Flame set.
Okay. Now, educate me on this. With that in mind, now I'm having a little bit more understanding. Why again, Baishu?
Because Scaramouche is talking about how Pantalone is working very closely with the doctor, so now you have to wonder on what.
When he says doctor, it's the Torre, right?
Yes.
So, yes, that is
the
question.
doctor. When it's capitalized, it's the Torre, yeah. So he's working very closely with the doctor, and he's suggesting that Pantalone will meet a nasty end. So if you have a mention of death or the end in any of these, there's a strong chance that Hoyo is gonna flip that character from villain to playable, because it's usually like a threat of death or something similar.
Wait, what do you mean?
That's going
What do you
to
mean?
change someone.
Where's my Senora then?
She wasn't under a threat of death. She just died.
What? Leave my Senora alone.
You don't foreshadow a death and then go through with it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Like, they didn't shadow Senora's death.
Storytelling, hiding stuff.
They killed her for shock value.
You know, on a little
Just
side
like
note,
they killed Cocolia. I'm just saying.
I'm thinking back.
You like to not treat that character well. And
I'm just saying.
pretty sure
I'm thinking back. When Senora died, it wasn't even like shocking.
I mean, it was a surprise. You were like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was surprise
That's
because
shock value.
It was surprising because
You're still in shock right now. Where's
no. Here's the problem. When Senora died, it wasn't like a story that was the shocking part. It was just the way she died that was shocking. It's like, wait, that's it? That was the thought in my mind. Wait, that's it? She's dead?
Yep.
Huh. Let me go downstairs. Let me continue with the story. That was the extent of it. Honestly, I think it could have been executed better, but...
Well, yeah. It could have. Like, but Inazuma was a mess. Let's just leave that one at that. But my point here is that they don't foreshadow these sorts of things unless it's going to be important later.
So you're saying Pantalone...
If Scaramouche says that Pantalone working with the doctor is going to lead to Pantalone dying, or something quite similar to it, then that's foreshadowing that is an event that's coming.
But you think he's gonna be alive, aka be immortal?
No, I don't think he's gonna be immortal.
Well,
I just think that if let me put it this way, if you're working in a shadowy organization like Scaramouche was, right?
Yeah.
He was put into a robot and then he was abandoned and he was gonna die. So during that moment when he should have been dying, Nahida says, you deserve a second chance, and he doesn't die, but he switches sides.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to Pantalone, you could have a very similar thing. He could be like Scaramouche, working very closely with the doctor. Whatever they're working on would backfire on Pantalone, and now he has to make a choice. Does he die and stay as a harbinger, or does he accept help from people who are not harbingers and then become an ally to us? That's kind of what I'm saying.
I'm confused still because this is the whole idea is the idea that Baiju is Pantalone, no?
I'm saying they're related.
Oh. What, like brothers?
They could be brothers. In my opinion, a puppet body makes a lot of sense because Chang Sheng is kind of odd. Because the only other, like, cause if you look at the characters that we have with sentient beings, we have Fischl with Oz, and then we have Xiangling with Guoba, and then we have Ito with Ushi.
Yeah.
So here's the interesting thing here. Ushi was an actual exorcist cow that Ito found and said, "You're mine now, we're best buddies," and adopted him. And then Guoba was Marcosius, who went to sleep, and then Xiangling found him and went, "Oh, you're mine now," and adopted him. right?
Mm-hmm.
Fischl manifested Oz. She didn't find him. She like literally just created him. So now you have Baizhu and Changsheng. So is Changsheng like Oz, or is she like Ushi? Because the one that can talk is Oz. Ushi and Guoba make noises. Right? Changsheng can talk. So is it not possible that Baizhu and Changsheng are either, how do I put this? That Changsheng is the Scaramouche inside the robot.
What?
Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. Dory also has her genie thing. Yeah, she found that one too, though. She didn't manifest it from her vision. She found that one too.
Let me write this down. So, Oz, official, manifestation. Manifest. Okay? We got... what's it? Goba? Xiangling? God. And then we got... Ishi? Ushi? Ushi? And then Ito? How do I want to label this being of Ushi?
He's a cow.
Well, I mean more in like a...
Well, he's an Oni. He's an Ushi Oni.
Oni, thank you.
He's an exorcist.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, Ushi is an exorcist cow, which is funny because he's supposed to be exorcising Ito, but they're buddies.
And then there is Baizhu, Changsheng. Changsheng?
So the one thing that doesn't hold up when it comes to Baizhu and Pantalone being related is Baiju's vision, because Pantalone, we know, does not have a vision.
Well, they again...
He's never gifted one.
Yeah, you
but
might
again,
be...
it could be fake because we've never seen him use it.
Well, for the easiest interpretation would be just like, they're not the same, but they're related. Because of the vision. But again, you're right. The vision can just be fake.
Baizhu could be a Pantalone segment. He could be brothers. They could be the same one in dark mode and light mode, kind of like how Child has his foul legacy or whatever. There's a lot of possibilities. It's also possible that they're not related at all. It's just very odd to me that if you have done Yelan's story quest, at the very end of her story quest, which is all about Regrator, like she's and that's Pantalone, right? Who shows up at the end of her story quest except Baizhu?
You know, I look, listen. I know what you mean.
Just saying.
I know what you
mean. It's a little sus.
It's very sus. I would even go out to say that is like probably a hint. But at the same time, it's just like it seems very tinfoil hat. I call it copium because the lack of information, but it is sus. You're not wrong. Like I would share something like this to a lot of the people in the community, and they'll just be like, "You're fucking crazy." I'm like, yeah, you're right. I know. So you know how it is.
Fun.
True.
If you're just gonna only make safe theories, then that's kind of... It's not really a theory. You're just doing pre-lore.
You're just writing synopsis.
Yeah, before everything's out.
Chat, what do you think? You think Pantalone and Baizhu are related? Yes or no? And we're not gonna like argue over it, but I just want to see people's opinion on it. If not the same, related. I'm actually more interested than before now about this whole like idea.
I think it's interesting because like the original theory was just kind of based on the fact that they look kind of similar.
Yeah, the glasses and
that there's
everything.
a couple of like interesting little mentions that overlap, and then plus like Liwa connections and all that. But then like the more patches that come out, the more little suspicious hints come out, and you're just like, wait, does this crack theory actually have a little bit of merit? Because that tends to be what happens sometimes with crack theories. Like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like sometimes the crack theory you come up with is actually the crack direction that Hoyo is going to go in.
For what it's worth, I think personally, if they are related, I think that'd be cool as shit. If they're not, the timing of both of them is very similar. Of being, like, if I were to guess, like, appear in the story. Like, Baiju he's gonna come out sooner or later. Very soon. There's no other way. Otherwise, you bury that guy and just completely delete them from the game. You know what I mean? Right. It's like it's soon, obviously. And what, the next Fatui Harbinger after Scaramouche, probably it's I mean, we already seen Dottore, but I think Dottore's gonna persist for a very long time. So what? Are we expecting the next one to be Pantalone?
So that depends a little bit, I think. If you look at like where we're going to Fontaine, right? I don't think Pantalone is going to be in Fontaine.
Well,
I think that one is most likely going to be Colombina and or Arlecchino. That one makes the most sense.
But we do have like 7 months. 8 months.
We do, which means we're going to have to start doing like 2 Harbingers at a time.
Which is not unlikely, to be honest.
No, it's not. Not at all. But what I'm saying is, like, Pantalone could be next, but it means that we have to do a Liyue arc. I don't know where in our timeline between now and Fontaine a Liyue arc fits in.
Yeah, and they have to do a lot of setups.
Right? Like, that's where I struggle. That's where I struggle. Because we know there's at least one more desert region to come out. And we know we've got Nahida's story quest still. So unless those come out on the same patch, that's 2 patches already that are still Sumeru. And then there's another. We're gonna have to get a Dainslift quest. We get one for every region.
Well, okay. Let me say this then.
We didn't get one for Inazuma, did we?
We got one for Chasm.
Yeah, okay, we got one for the Chasm. But that's still Liyue's.
Yeah.
But that happened during Inazuma.
That's exactly what happened, yes. So this is my question. We're under the impression.
We still have a Dane quest to go. So that's three patches that have already been accounted for. We're going into 3. We're in 3.3. That takes us up to 3.6 already.
Yeah,
so
but we're under the impression that
we'd have 4 patches before Fontaine, and I think it'll be less than that.
I know this is something that
only go to like 2.8.
Yeah, I know this is something that's people not like gonna enjoy hearing, but I think you're forgetting they can delay the region's release as much as they want if they need to. As in, not because they're not ready. Yeah, but here's the thing. In terms of the story, if we go to Fontaine within like 8-9 months from now, right? Unless we do the entire region first and come back to do everything, there's so many things that are missing. Like, let's say hypothetically, we go to Fontaine, and then next we go to Natlin, and then next we go to, Shinisnaya, and then what? We go to Conria or whatever. Let's say that's the logic. If we go at this pace, there's so many things in the game that is left explained. So many things. It's too fast.
But the pace at which that they are releasing content has skyrocketed.
That's only within the last 5 patches, though.
No, it's been since Inazuma.
Well, you're talking about the content. Okay, I'm talking about the time
frame. Think about what was really okay, but that was the case for Liyue and Mondstadt. But that makes sense to me because during the times of Liyue and Mondstadt, Hoyo went through a period where they literally doubled in size in terms of like employees because they didn't expect this game to be as popular as it was. So we only got like a couple new areas during like the first 18 months of the game or so. And it wasn't until Inazuma that they started releasing content a bit more frequently. And if you look at like what they're doing, typically dev companies like this will work in what we call sprint cycles. Mm-hmm. A sprint cycle is usually about 6 weeks, and then you're usually working out about 6 months. So you're working in 6-week sprint cycles with the intent of pushing out everything. Like you've got everything planned for 6 months. So if you go through a 6-week sprint cycle, at the end of that, you have to plan the 6-week sprint cycle 6 months from now, right? Like you have to keep doing it that way. So they're working on continuously 6-week sprint cycles within a 6-month period, and that's continuously moving ahead. So they know everything that's happening for the next 6 months.
I get that.
That's what they're doing.
I get that, but
it takes a long time for it to get up to that point. So you had like Mondstadt and Liyue for the first, year and a half of the game, where basically nothing happened because they didn't have that in place. They have like a 6-month lead time before they can even start to do that. You started to see it in Inazuma, where like every patch we'd get a new island, and then we'd get Enkanomiya, and then when we finally get to Sumeru, now we're getting a massive region. We got a whole new element. We're getting story quests up the wazoo. We've got shit tons of world quests. Then we got a whole desert region, which has an entire underground area, and there's still more of the desert, right? And we also know that they've got the Tea Village in Liyue planned. We know that we've got the Chasm. That also happened during the Inazuma patch. And we're also getting things like Dornman Port, and like there's so much.
That's my point.
In that period.
That's my point. There's so much. There's no way that they can like cram all this into a span of 3 years.
They can.
Because we're talking about like
3 years. You're looking at least 4.
Yes, I'm talking about until listen, with 8-9 months from now we go to Fontaine, right? But before we go to Fontaine, if we go to Fontaine and we do like more Fatui's Harbingers, that's great, but there's so much still missing in terms of all these backstory about each of the characters.
Back though, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean we won't go back, because like during Inazuma, where did we go back to? The Chasm.
Even if we did go back and forth, 8 months is not enough for things to be completely explained, right? So we eventually like.
That's 5 patches.
That's not. I don't think that's enough.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about when you're saying like more things need to be explained.
Like, think of the bigger scope of the entire game.
Wait, let me ask a more specific question. What specific threads do you think are important to be explained ASAP?
Fatui Harbingers are undoubtedly going to be linked to the Archon quest, no? Like, they're not going to be thrown into question. Like... Fatui Harbingers is one of them. It's like a very important part of the story that needs to be explained.
I
don't see a world where they're thrown to the side. Every one of their characters.
Well, I don't think they would be. I'm confused why you went that route.
Because there's Fatui Harbingers, and then there's the regular Archon story, like the lore of the main story. Yes,
they're intertwined. Liyue and Inazuma and Sumeru all had their primary Archon quests intertwined with the Harbingers. It's only Mondstadt that didn't. Mondstadt dealt with the Abyss Order.
My main idea, my biggest struggle is trying to understand how they're going to explain everything about the story of Genshin Impact within the next 3 regions. It's not possible. So the outlet is you finish all 4 regions. So my impression of this always was after we finish the 4 regions, the story's gonna keep continuing and everything's gonna get resolved. Like, you know how there's characters and story quests that are never released? I think you're
thinking way too far ahead.
Okay.
Because we haven't even met an NPC from Natlan yet. Like we're thinking way too far ahead.
How do we get into this conversation?
Harbingers.
And Pantalone, yes?
Yeah. Like the original question was, is Pantalone the next Harbinger that we deal with?
Yes.
I don't think so. The reason is because we're going to Fontaine next, and I don't think we're going back to Liyue for an Archon quest before then. I think we will go back to Liyue for an Archon quest to deal with Pantalone, but I don't think it'll be before we get to Fontaine.
Oh, it's just because he's linked to the bank, and that's like the main shtick for Pantalone?
And money and contracts and all of that comes from Liyue.
So that would mean Baishu will be buried for another...
That would be really unfortunate. I don't think so. I mean, like I make a big stink about like how the two are connected and all that kind of stuff. A lot of it's suspicious. It's also very possible that they can be like Kazuha and Scaramouche and just end up being foils of each other instead. Where they both have very similar ambitions and they could be like stemming from the same source. Maybe they both grew up similarly. Maybe they're both from the same region. Maybe they even crossed paths at one point, but they both kind of like split off and they're both doing their own thing. That is also a possibility.
Sure.
Genshin loves foils. They love foils. So I wouldn't put that past them at all. But I think it's interesting. I think it's important to keep in mind the similarities between the two because I do think that their stories overlap. But it could be like a Dottore and his segments. Like it could be like game Dottore and manga Dottore. Kind of overlapping, which I still have a really hard time reconciling in my head. It could be like that, or it could be like a Kazuha and Scaramouche where they're literally like
I can see that
each other instead. So both are possible. I just don't think that story is next. But again, we got Kazuha like a year before Scaramouche became playable.
True.
So we could get Baiju a year before Pantalone has anything.
True. Wait, what's the patch cycle? There's a festival. There's a Lunar New Year festival.
3.4 should be Lantern Rite.
Yeah, and then eventually we're gonna get the Summer Isles again. I'm hoping that's might not be the case.
6.
Yeah, that might not be the case, but I'm hoping because they're always fun. And then
you know what's really interesting is that the last Golden Apple actually foreshadowed a ton of stuff that happened in Sumeru.
Yeah, I do remember. It was a shit ton. The entirety of it, actually.
I know, it's great.
Also, dude, that's the thing. The Golden Apple Archipelago is like a tool that they're using every time to just like keep this in mind, chat. It might just be a foreshadowing tool that they're using for each region every summer. That'll be fun.
Possible.
And it's simple. It's like a simple pattern. What I thought was interesting was that I'm assuming Dragon Spine is coming back after Lantern Rite. I'm assuming. Just out of the patterns. I don't think
so. I think they're skipping it this year.
Oh, that'd be so sad.
I think they skipped it in it. I think winter is artificial human season. And
is that what we're calling it?
That's what I'm calling it.
Makes sense.
Because the last 2 years we've had Albedo, who is an artificial human, and then this year we had Scaramouche, who is an artificial human. Because this.
Oh, so you're saying it's already over?
This would have been the patch we go to Dragonspine, and instead we're getting a Halloween patch.
No.
Which is funny. I don't think we're getting one because I think 3.4 is Lantern Rite, and I don't think they'll do Dragonspine after Lantern Rite.
They usually always do it before, no?
Yeah.
So Albedo's lore probably gonna have to wait. It's a little too late.
I think so.
But maybe they're just doing it on purpose.
Prediction, though.
I mean, they could just be doing it on purpose to hide more stuff about Dragonspine, because we've uncovered a lot in Dragonspine already.
Well, also too, like most of what happens in Dragonspine is very tightly connected to
the Cataclysm and the Archon War and all that shit.
Yeah, and a lot of what Sumeru has been giving us is clarification on the kind of stuff that happened back then.
True.
So,
yeah.
So I mean that makes sense to me, personally.
Same. Okay, that does, cause like from the last time we had the Albedo story, like the whole like fake Duran situation, or fake Albedo situation with Duran's like whatever. Like, how are they gonna expand more on that without spoiling everything? So I think them not doing it this year does kind of make sense.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yo, speaking of which,
huh?
What happened to Looney Harpass stuff?
It's an Oktoberfest, so it'll be something that would happen in the fall.
It never happens.
We'll probably just not see it for like another year. It might be the one we do next year.
I'm still waiting for the whole the throwing the ball and like.
We kind of already did that on the first Golden Apple.
If that's what they're gonna call Ludi Harpassum, then fine. But I was expecting like a huge event. There was the what?
Divine Laser Fest?
Thank you, English. It's not even English.
It's German.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Windbloom. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, Windbloom is a different festival.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Klee blowing Mondstadt with the hard pass. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm looking forward to Baishu. I really want to know. If I remember, he was released in the game 1.2?
1.1.
Really?
I think.
He's gotta be like the one of the characters that's longest teased, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think. When was the Liyue Archon Quest? Because he was in the Liyue Archon Quest.
Oh yeah, that was when the game launched.
Well,
wait, was it that
was it
second?
1.0 or was it 1.1?
Was it the part where
1.1 was Unreconciled Stars. 1.2 was Dragon Spine.
it was
When
Act
was the
2?
Liyue Archon Quest?
Liyue Archon Quest started when the game released. It just wasn't finished. I don't remember
okay,
which
so then
part.
he was there since 1.0.
I don't know if he showed up, because you know how in the beginning the Liyue
There's an
Archon
easy way
Quest.
to find out.
Please, please.
I can just look it up.
Yeah, because there's a disconnect between the Kokogo quest. That one, right? Was it before or after the? I think it was 1.0.
I'm pretty sure it was 1.0.
Yeah.
Yep, Chapter 1 was released in version 1.0. Yep.
I really do hope that Baiju doesn't get the Ayaka treatment, man. Because when I say Ayaka treatment, like, the character was teased such a long time prior of coming out that, like, people kind of got bored of it and, like, they didn't get the attention that they deserved. Like, the story quest for Ayaka was great. It's just, like, the community... the feeling that I got was just like, yeah, it's a cool character, but, like, I'm bored of it already. But then having Infinite Ayaka banner didn't help either later.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Ayaka, so I can't really comment. But she was one of the beta characters, so a lot of her hype revolved around that. Like, she was present in the Genshin beta.
Yeah. That's my point. It's just like... It was a long time until she was actually released since people first saw the character.
Yeah, it was like two years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baiju has no gameplay? Ah, that's true. That is true. That is actually a big difference.
That's the only one other thing, is that we've literally never seen Baiju do anything.
Yeah.
And I think he's had a voice actor change at least once.
Yeah, and...
Or English, anyway.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
They made some changes. Whatever.
It's more like how do I put it? Like how do I put this? I don't know.
Why do you think Baiju is sick? Like, what? Do you think it has something to do with the curse? Not Elazar. Maybe, like, even curse of, like, other shit? Maybe karma? Maybe Kanria? I don't know.
I don't think he's sick.
Yeah?
I'm that
You think he's
person.
lying? You think he's lying?
Okay,
Or you...
listen.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But yeah,
that
go ahead.
That guy hiked all through the fucking mountains in the north of Liyue.
Oh shit.
All right. You will not convince me that a chronically sick person is going to do that.
True.
Like, I understand that he's a doctor, but like, we were able to talk to him during that lantern, right? When we saw him going through the village, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't look out of breath. He doesn't look tired. Chi-Chi doesn't ask, Baiju, are you okay? Like, none of it was there. He's like, yes, Chi-Chi, we'll be done in a bit. I'm still working. Like, he's a fucking workaholic.
That's a great impression, by the way.
You want to ask me what his sickness is? He's a friggin' insomniac. That's what it is.
Right. And he just
Like I don't buy for a second that he's sick. And if he is, it has to be some kind of like chronic ailment that I don't know, like maybe he's kind of like a leukemia patient whose treatment is going well and can function for like 48 hours without feeling exhausted, but then sleeps for 3 days, right?
Like a battery. You gotta recharge your batteries.
Something like, well, I have an uncle who was diagnosed with leukemia, and he was like a baseball coach. He was, you know, like he was very active, and he was all about doing like marathons and Ironmans and, you know, like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was diagnosed, like a lot of that stuff became harder, but he still did it. But he was also like managing the hell out of his diet and lifestyle, and his you know, treatment was going really well and all that other kind of stuff. So like I could potentially see something like that, but
sure,
the way his illness is described is just weird.
Yeah, I thought it was Elazar, and then I got debated.
I thought it could be Elazar.
I'm telling you, he just missed the cut. He just wasn't in Sumeru when he got.
But he also just like the thing is Elazar is withering on the body, right? And we saw with Kale that she's not allowed to be around certain types of energy. She's not allowed to exert herself physically. She sleeps a lot. All that kind of stuff, right? We saw Dunyarzad and she was coughing and like it causes internal bleeding and hemorrhaging in the lungs. Like we know a lot of that kind of stuff. Baiju doesn't have any of those symptoms.
Maybe Changsheng has something to do with it. Who knows? It does seem like Changsheng is not normal. Is not a normal being.
It's also possible that she's an Adeptus.
That's true. I didn't even think of it like that way. Huh.
I'm looking through his wiki entry trying to see.
And can't Adeptus
you mentioned?
Can't the Adeptus change forms like completely to an animal? They can.
Yeah. It's very possible she's an Adeptus and that she's keeping Baiju alive.
Yeah.
I mean, like that. Like, there's a lot of possibilities here.
I think honestly that's the most likely possibility, just because it's Liyue and the lore around surrounding it.
Here's what it actually says. Herbalist Gui, who is one of the employees of the Boo Boo Pharmacy, says that Baiju suffers from a quote unknown ailment that makes him frail.
Yeah.
That means shit. Think about that for a second.
Do you saying he's lying?
He could just have an iron deficiency for all we know. It just makes him pass out every now and again.
Oh, fuck.
Right? Like, it just says it makes him frail. It doesn't say he's like chronically ill. It doesn't give us any symptoms. Like what?
I see where you're coming from. I see it. Okay.
I'm looking at the actual dialogue now because now I'm curious what the actual dialogue says. Okay, he specifically says, I'm quoting the actual dialogue now. Dr. Baiju himself has a poor constitution, so the job of putting the medicines together falls to me while Chi-Chi handles herb picking. But as to what illness Dr. Baiju has, I have no clue. He's been ill from the very first time he met him and hasn't recovered since. And that's it.
There's a couple other characters that says a similar sentiment in their voice lines. I forget.
You have to wonder, like, is that just Baiju? What? Is he just lying to them? Is he putting on an act? Is he like...
It
being
could
like,
be.
Sorry, I can't come to work today. I got a cold.
I'm sick
You know?
today. I mean, that's a possibility. It's a possibility, but a lot of characters do, you know, piggyback on the idea that, yeah, there's something seems to be really wrong with them. But, I don't know, that's open for interpretation, I suppose. We'll see. I don't know. I thought he was actually dying.
Thing.
There was
It doesn't say
Chi-Chi.
it, though. It just says he's frail. That doesn't mean shit. You could have an allergy to sunlight for all we know.
He's frail. He can't move. Okay, he can't
He
move.
hiked up the friggin' mountain path to the village on the other
That
side
was
of
Chang
Liyue.
Sheng rolling him on a wheelchair. Okay, I'm telling you.
We watched him walk. So Chi-Chi
At
says
that-
that she may be a corpse, but she's in a much better physical condition than Dr. Baiju, which also doesn't mean anything because Chi-Chi
Oregesson
apparently has
super chatted
crazy,
$5.
incredible physical
What
strength.
if Beizu
So
is sick because of his brother? Regrader doing
that's
an
all she says.
experiment and it
That's
turns
literally
the
all she
brothers
says about
against
him.
each
She
other?
only says she may be a corpse, but she's in a much better physical condition than Baiju.
Mm-hmm. Iridescence, thank you for the $5 super chat. What if Baiju is sick because of the brother? Regrader during an experiment and it turns the brother against each other. So you're saying they're brothers and then they turn against each other and that's why he potentially is sick. But we're trying to figure out if he is even sick. Maybe it's a lie all along. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it.
Shinha has an interesting line. She says that the quality of his medicinal herbs is as good as it gets. He also has an easygoing and considerate nature. But by comparison, the little snake on his neck has no filter at all. But don't worry, I didn't lift a finger against it. I wouldn't go so far as to getting into a quarrel with a snake. And then
Sharp
Shinyan also
tongue.
mentions the snake around his neck that fainted right away.
Because of the song, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Xingqiu doesn't say anything interesting. Xiao says that Baiju can't make immortal medicines.
That's when I read that
Oh,
line.
This was the most interesting thing. This is one of the things that makes me think that the Pentalone thing holds more weight. It actually comes from Shangling. Shangling says that she can smell mist flowers, and that's the scent of Dr. Baiju. Now, the interesting thing about mist flowers is that you immediately think that this is the mist flower corollas, like those ice flowers.
Uh-huh.
You know, in the world, those ones
It's
you
the
have to
mist
hit with
flowers
fire to
is
harvest.
it's one from the manga.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it actually? I think in Chinese it's called like void flowers, which is actually how they refer to the mist grass that the
Yeah,
Seisen
mist
mages
grass.
use.
Yeah, that's the
So
scent
that
from the
connects them to
Fatui.
Seisen mages, which is a Fatui thing.
The delusion thing.
Yeah, so that's the part that makes you go,
Yeah, I thought about the same thing and I wasn't sure, but I was thinking the same lines. But because this is the English translation, I wasn't 100%, right? Because in the manga, they call it mist grass, but I don't know how accurate this is. I could probably look it up in other languages to find out. But yeah, that's the first thing that I definitely thought too, which is
Yeah.
strange.
It's a thing. It's definitely a thing. But like, there's all those little things, right? Like, how can you look at them and be like, oh yeah, they're not connected at all? Like, they are connected in some way. I don't know which way it is yet. There's like 5 possibilities, but they are connected. I have connected the dots, and I might not have connected shit, but I have connected them.
The dots I see connected them. I have connected them.
Drawing invisible lines between these dots.
I do hope Baiju comes out soon so we can find out, because it's been irritating her for a while. Almost to the point where he's starting to slowly get erased from the Irminsul.
Eventually he'll be gone.
Maybe there's no connection. That's a possibility, yeah. That's definitely a
If there's
possibility.
no connection, I don't know.
It's always a possibility that what we were talking about is not connected. But from our experience, things correlate too much in this game. And it's not a coincidence. Once you start seeing some of these kind of patterns, you start to think, I wonder if they're connected. And most of the time, they are connected in some way, if not direct. Some roundabout way, they are connected. So that's why it
And then
gets
other
very
things you're
interesting.
like, these are distantly connected. And then turns out that they were like, oh no, those are the same
Yeah.
thing. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? No! That's not how this works.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
And I think, for what it's worth, a lot of people who are getting into the lore, like in the beginning, you would think some of these ideas are insane and like straight up copium or tinfoil or whatever. But you stay in long enough, especially with Hoyoverse lore, and you're like, okay, I see what they're doing. It's more like you have to experience to find out kind of thing. You have to experience the lore yourself to understand that nothing's really coincidental.
Yep.
Alright, I do have to go soon.
I think it's funny that you have to go before I do.
Well, I can stay as long as I would like, as long as you're
That's
okay,
fine
but
with me.
um
you can go, dude.
weren't you supposed to do something? At like 12?
Yeah, it was. It got moved to tomorrow.
Whoa.
I was supposed to go to the COP15 thing for ERM, but then it's not there, so I'm not going. They moved it to Friday,
I see.
which is fine. I have an all agency timesheet meeting in an hour that I gotta go to. Other than that, nope. I'm good. I'm good.
Alright, we can just chit chat for like another 15 minutes if you're okay. Because I have to go somewhere by 1.
Well, you should get ready to go then.
I'm just having lunch with my friend. That's really it. Oh. Chat, are you guys enjoying us just talking about random shit? We didn't really plan anything. For what it's worth, I hope you're enjoying it.
Should be entertaining.
Yeah. Oh my god, my fucking
I
chat is
aim for
broken.
nothing but entertainment.
Do you guys want to ask us question? Not too serious, not too much of a serious lore question, because sometimes if you're dumb,
Q&A.
yeah, simple questions, and then we'll give you a simple answer. Don't expect anything insane.
I see one.
You want to answer?
Ren R says the chapter number for Conria had not been confirmed yet, so if they decide to add stuff in between, what chapter number do you think they'll give Conria? I'm gonna let you go first because I know what my answer is.
I completely was not listening because I was fucking
You
distracted.
son of a poop.
What was the question?
Ah! The chapter number for Conria has not been confirmed yet, so if they decide to add stuff in between, what chapter number do you think they'll give Conria?
Yo, what if it's... What
You
if
gonna
it's...
answer that or?
Wait, chapter 7 is Natlin, or Snezhnaya, yes?
Yeah.
What if...
Well, no.
What's the last chapter number that we got in the
Because
trailer?
I think Mondstadt is technically chapter 0, isn't it?
Yes, you're right.
So Snezhnaya is technically chapter 6.
Okay, whatever the case may be, if that's true, I would say... Let me finish though. I would say 7, but now I think about it from the conversation that we had today about going all the way back. What if Conria doesn't happen until like way later? And there's more chapters going back to Mondstadt, going back to Inazuma, like after Snezhnaya, and there's so many chapters. And then it's like, I don't know, fucking like chapter 20. And then we just got debated. That's my thought.
That's funny. I went the complete opposite direction.
What was your answer?
I think it's going to be chapter 1.
Wait, we have one though.
I know. Here's why. We're working with a tree that's supposed and a god of time that rewrites time. I think the reason why they haven't put a number
going time
on
loop
Conria,
now.
yeah, is because we're gonna loop back and we're
Oh,
gonna go
God.
back to the beginning before the game started. And it is going to also just be the beginning of the game again. Like it's gonna loop back. We're gonna get to 6. Here's one of the things I'm thinking of.
Mm.
In the Staff of the Scarlet Sands, the Scarlet King deliberately says, as he's dying, we must put an end to the cycle of 7. And if there are 7 perceived chapters, including chapter 0, then that means when you hit 7, something happens.
Wouldn't you go back to 0 then?
That's what I just said.
You said 1.
Right, but 0 is the prologue.
My thought was, if Conria is the beginning, I don't know, because the travelers started their journey in Conria, apparently.
I think that the reason it has no number is because it exists outside of the story.
Do you want to know a very simple answer? It doesn't exist because Hoyoverse wasn't sure how much more additional content will be coming before the end of the game of Conria.
Nah, because they labeled that video, quote, to that story chapter. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Guess.
All they're gonna do is say, oh, hey, you know this continent of Tevat that you've been living in? Guess what? There are more continents. How many continents are on the planet right now? Island.
6. That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry, there are 7.
No. Because I'm using Asian education. Apparently in Asia, something about Europe and Asia is the same continent. I don't know. I heard a story back in the day somewhere.
Sure.
Chat, is it crazy? I thought in Asia education, Europe and Asia.
Did you go to school in Asia?
I did.
Then were you taught that there were 6?
Yo, Eurasia. They consider Eurasia as one continent. Anyways, that's besides the point.
Let's put it this way. There are up to 7. How's that?
Was I getting a little too technical? Was I getting a little too technical?
Well, I mean, it depends. I guess it would really depend on how you do it. Because, like, you could say that the Americas themselves are one continent. You could say that Africa is also part of Eurasia. So maybe there's only, like, 4.
Wait, how do we get into this conversation?
No, my point is that the Tevat storyline,
oh, yeah.
they keep calling Tevat a continent.
So you think there's more continents?
I'm thinking that if they go beyond Conria, there will be more continents.
Or a different dimension, an alternative universe. Ooh.
I don't think they'll do that. I think they're saving that for Star Rail.
Man, now you got me all sad.
Why?
Because I want to play Star Rail.
Well, we did not get a release date.
Yeah.
Awards, like I thought we were going to.
Questions. Any questions? Simple question, like what color is the sky? Red.
Am I actually just Yenfei in disguise? No, I used Yenfei in one video, and then people made fun of me for it, so I decided to continue out of spite, and then it spiraled out of control.
Favorite lore character? My favorite lore character? My answer is super biased, but Nahida. Recency bias too, I suppose.
No, I'm still on Kaya.
That's fair. Mika. What is going on with that character, yo? People forgot about Mika. Half of you are sitting in chat like, wait, who the hell is Mika?
He only showed up in an event. If you didn't play the event, that makes sense.
Yeah. Mika, the chocobo hair.
Little chirp boy.
Who's your favorite NPC? Favorite NPC? Fuck. What's his name?
Enjo!
I was gonna troll and be like Pallid.
Oh, you don't like the golf?
Who's the golf?
Oh my god.
Is that one of the knights?
No.
Who's the golf?
Have you done any Sumeru exploration, Island?
I told you. The last time I logged into the game was like a month and a half ago to actually play. Now I just log in for videos or play TCG.
How?
Wait, if you explain to me...
log into the game that makes up the core of your channel's video content?
If you tell me who it is, I'll probably know. I just don't remember names that well.
I ain't telling you anything. You'll know exactly who it is if you actually explored Sumeru.
That's not true. I'm just really
Yes, it
bad
is.
with names. Legal.
What about Terzad?
Who?
Terzad.
Isn't that the
Or
girl from
Jabril.
the... Isn't that the girl from the
Jet?
story?
No.
Yeah, I know them. I know them.
Is?
I'm talking about the Dinjazard is the girl from the Archon Quest. Jet, however you pronounce the name, is the person from the story quest, or not? Yeah, the world quest, right?
And Terzad is?
Tearzod. Who's Tearzod?
Oh my god.
I don't remember the name.
If you remember Jet, how do you not remember Terzad?
I don't remember everything. I forget. I only remember the character names that I was interested in because of what they
How
said.
many characters were in that quest?
I don't know. How am I supposed to remember this? You guys are crazy.
More content.
Look, most of the time I do the quest once and then I go to the wiki page to read dialogues, okay? I don't remember
Oh my
exactly
God.
what happened.
Please tell me you remember Ben Ben.
Yeah, the robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who was Jet's father?
I forgot his name. Is that the name?
No.
I forgot
Who
his
was
name.
Jet's father?
I forgot his name.
How do you forget a Big Daddy?
Cause
What is wrong with you?
I told you I'm terrible with names.
How does your chat know this better than you? What is
Well, to be
happening?
fair, I did it like really pretty fast, and then I didn't stream it. Usually, I stream all my quests, and I remember a lot better. But I
Who
didn't
did
stream that one.
Jet and Jabril accompany on that quest?
Oh, it's that what's it called? What's the word? Academia person. What's the word?
We got
Scholar.
there
Thank
in the
you.
end.
Scholar. Thank you. Oh shit. I feel like I'm
We
on a
got
fucking
there.
Genshin quiz show. God damn.
Oh, Island, I am in pain. This
You
is your fault.
dude, we should be on a quiz show and then you'll be so frustrated at me.
I would not partner with you on a quiz show. I'm sorry. I love you, buddy, but I am not partnering with you on a quiz show.
Chi-Chi has better memory. Listen, Chi-Chi writes things down, all right? Listen, that's not called a memory. Let's be honest about that, all right? I'm not that
Oh my
bad.
God. Are you sure?
I don't know. Now I feel uncomfortable. Now I feel very, very, what's the word? Exposed. Now I feel very vulnerable. This is Island bullying stream.
It is Island bullying stream.
So true. Does Island know who Rana is? Rana is the
Oh,
girl from the
please tell me.
Aranara quest, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now everybody's testing me, yo. And I'm just like, fuck. I feel
You know they're
put
gonna
on the
start
spot.
doing this more often, right? Like you're just gonna be on a random stream, and then someone in chat's gonna be like, "Hey, Island, what was the blah blah from the blah blah blah?" And you're gonna be like, I'm playing TCG. Go away."
Who is Tepe? Oh my god. Name 5
Genshin
Aranara?
Jeopardy. How come we don't have a Genshin Jeopardy?
You know, it's sad. I was about to make one, but it was too much work.
Right?
I'm serious.
You realize Tectone has done a Genshin quiz game show.
Yeah, I know. And then Atsu did too. And then
Yeah.
I actually asked both of them how their experience was doing it. And I was thinking of making my own version, but then I realized the type of questions that I would probably put is just like too much 5-head for casual players. So I decided not to do it because it would be too complicated.
Why would you just not crowdsource them from your chat?
Like what? Questions?
Yeah.
I could do that. But when I say complicated, it was also a lot of work. Like the backend stuff and like, you know, setting it up.
How are you gonna set it up?
Like the show?
Yeah. What were you doing?
It was Jeopardy, but I wanted to make it a little bit easier, but better. But the thing is, I wasn't sure what to do in terms of trying to get the scheduling properly done, because everybody seems to... Because Jeopardy's not only for one person, right? If it was like a one-on-one, it's easy, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like Atsu did. But it was kind of like hassle, like
A Jeopardy with 4 people?
Isn't it just 3?
You can do up to 4.
Whatever the case, it's just a lot of logistic stuff, and I have to make it, like the quiz itself, and I'm trying to get like the camera set up, overlay set up properly for 4 people, and I wasn't really smart enough to like figure that out, so I couldn't make it, sadly.
I see.
I don't know. I wanted to, but it just felt really hard to do.
Okay, what's your favorite world quest then?
Huh. What's yours? Because I have an answer, but I just can't remember every world quest. Because there's so
you don't
many.
have to remember every one of them.
I want to remember all of them so I can pick the right answer. But I mean, the most memorable right now, it's probably because of recency bias, is probably Aranara's. But I think a lot of people's favorites are Aranara World Quest.
Why are all of these links broken? What is happening in the Cotton Australia site?
Sakura
Sorry,
cleansing.
You have to remember I'm like multitasking a little bit, so my
That's
attention's
fine.
not totally here.
Isn't Gunomiya considered the world quest?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't that
Pretty sure.
voiced?
No. It was not. I wish
What-
it was.
What was that one girl? The Bishop Eye girl.
That was not a quest. That was an event.
Oh. I see. So that okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
I wanted to see. Hang on, real quick. Moonbathed Deep. Okay, so Moonbathed Deep, which is how you unlock it, and Stillwater's Flow. Those are both world quests. So Enkanomiya is also a world quest,
I see.
and it's full of more world quests. Yep, a lot of world quests.
You know, if somebody were to play the game now, like start from level 1 right now, and they never played the game, they have so much content.
Legit though, I have been seriously considering starting a second account.
Just for the story.
Well, because A, I want to go through the story again, and B, there's a lot of footage I'm missing from before 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
That I either have to source elsewhere or I have at really, really low quality. And I would like
That's
to get
gonna
some
take
better
so
quality.
much time.
It is, but like I wasn't gonna like do much exploring. I was just gonna do the stuff I know I'm missing when I need it.
Yeah, but so many of them are gated by prerequisites. So it's kind of
but
annoying.
It's not really that bad. It's not really that bad. You can get through all the way up to Inazuma in about a week. If not a little less.
Yeah, but how are you planning on recording it? Like waiting for the dialogue to finish, them talking for future usage for the footage, or like just spam through it?
Oh, I pull the voice lines off the wiki when I need them. Because that way they don't have music underneath it.
Smart.
I'm not pulling it out of a video. That's silly. Not when I can control F my way to victory.
Then what about the ones that you want the footage with it? I guess you just time it after you pull from.
I don't like the autoplay too much because it's really slow.
Right.
But I just turn the text speed up and then I just hit the button whenever the period ends. Which it's like if they're talking, it's like roughly when they get halfway through their sentence. It's usually when the text is fully displayed, and I just go then. And that seems to be a pretty good pace for footage. But I'm missing a lot of stuff, and it's really infuriating. So I want to go back and get it. I also, and this is a stupid thing to want to do, but I have a lot of friends on EU for one, and I would like to play with them, and they'll probably just carry me through a lot of the game, which is fine. But I also was thinking I kind of want a C0 Wanderer on my account. Because I have a C6 and you can't toggle it off. And there's been a lot of criticisms of his kit and stuff, but I can't accurately assess or test and just see if it's skill issue or if it's I legit have just like constellations. So I'm really upset about it. And I'm just like, well, what if I just had another account with a completely free-to-play account? With a Wanderer.
You gotta do it soon then.
I've got 2 weeks.
Yeah, you gotta make a decision soon.
I know. I'm gonna do it. I'll probably if I and also the other thing is like because my current account is so thoroughly gutted in terms of I've done everything.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool to have another account that I can just casually run around and explore with stuff on stream.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. That's what I'm doing for Honkai.
Yeah,
I made a new account.
like when I do streams right now, like I'm usually just artifact farming, like doing artifact routes or whatever, or like going around and picking up random stuff or farming for materials that I kind of need but also don't really, because I have so much. So it's just like it makes more sense to have something where I'm actually exploring and things are actually satisfying, and also because there's a lot of stuff when you go back into the content with new context.
Yeah, you get like a eye-opening
You're
moment
like,
a lot.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Like when Venti says, "May the wind protect you," and then you realize that in every nation you're protected by an Animo boy at some point. You're like, wait a second.
Rin,
like
hello.
Things like that.
Hello, Rin. How are you?
I want to redo Lisa's story quest specifically because of the Pale Princess thing, because that now has a lot more merit. Just things like that.
Sure.
I'm sure there's stuff I've also forgotten. I'm missing little things too that I didn't realize I wouldn't be able to go back and get. Like in the Elazar hospital, there's like those notes in the dresser. You can only ever see those once and then they're gone.
That's why you record everything or you stream it all. That's why.
I can't though, because my internet is so shit that I have like a really bad streaming quality.
Get internet better, 5 head.
I can't. This is a better internet. My last internet was half a megabit per second up.
What?
And 5 megabits per second down. That's my DSL into my house. That was my DSL speed. Right now, I'm using the Verizon home internet, which is literally cell phone internet.
Do they not have cable near your house?
I can't get cable here. It would be slower.
What? I don't know where you live, but that's...
I live in the woods. But anyway, my current internet speed is like 47 down and 6 up, I think.
I'm surprised you can't even at least stream.
I can stream, it's just not at a high bit rate.
I see.
Because like the higher the bit rate goes, the higher the ping goes. So
right.
I could, okay, so if I was playing a single player game, like if I played Breath of the Wild or something on my Switch and I was using a capture card, the ping wouldn't matter, so I could probably double my bit rate and that would be acceptable. But because I'm playing a game that requires ping, if I increase my bit rate, my ping goes to unplayable levels.
Yeah, because it's taking up all the upload.
Right.
I see.
And trust me, I had my technician come. He put in double bonded internet, all that kind of stuff. I've literally got fiber optic cables running past my house, but the company that owns them went bankrupt. So until either a new company comes in and buys the fiber or something. Like, I don't even have options for that.
Or you can move and be a full-time creator.
I am not selling my house at these current interest rates. I'm sorry. Like, I bought my house at like a 1% interest rate. I am not paying the current interest rates for a new house. It's not going to happen.
What if you make millions of dollars?
Yeah, right. Doing what?
Doing YouTube.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm just going to be the next Mr. Beast of
That's
Genshin.
right. You make,
gonna happen.
I mean, it's not even have to be that big. You make 6 figures a month. Easy peasy.
Doing what?
Making videos.
That's not going to happen, and you know it.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
Statistically, you may, but
Island.
there's a dream. I have a dream.
Have you done the math for your own channel to see like how
Look,
many videos
listen,
and
I'm
how
already-
many views you would have to get to that point?
I've spoken about this. I'm already like
If
negative
you
$6,000.
If you
Okay.
had a $6,000 sponsorship, how many sponsorships at $6,000 every month would you have to produce in order to make 6 figures?
Why are you giving me math questions with random ass number
I'll
like
make
a
it easier
6?
for you. I'll make it easier for you. $10,000 sponsorship. How many sponsorships would you need in 1 month to make 6 figures?
I'm gonna say 14 because there's taxes.
Well, you've got ad revenue too.
Oh.
And membership, whatevers, and all that. Like, think about that for a second. That means you'd have to make 10 videos a month.
7.
At 10,000 a piece, at least. To
8.
make 6 figures. I mean, if you're gonna gross, it would be more like 7. But if you're gonna net, it's gotta be more like 10.
You can
it's
do
not
that. You
realistic.
can do that.
It's not
Easy.
realistic.
Easy
No,
life.
It's not.
Easy
No,
life.
it's not. No, it's not. I have a job, buddy.
Well, if you make 6 figures a month, you wouldn't have a job, would you? Doing
The
YouTube?
reason I like my job is I work in environmental and sustainability.
Oh.
Every
Alright.
morning when I wake up, everything I do actually feels like I make a difference somewhere. So regardless of whatever else happens, I really like my job.
That's fair. Just be a VTuber, man. Yeah, that'll solve everything, right?
I am not doing that. That is some weird stuff going on.
Shit. We gotta get Ashika a VTuber model. Let's go.
No. I don't want it. I don't want it. I really don't. Okay, this is a hot take. I don't like VTuber models.
Sure. We talked about this the other day.
Not even the culture. It's just that like they take up so much of the screen, and because they're so animated, they are so distracting that if you are a gamer and a VTuber at the same time, I will not watch you because I can't focus on the game.
Chat,
Because
you
there's
can't
like this
get
thing on the side that's just like making faces. I'm not
you
looking,
can't
I don't
get a
want to.
Yenfei V2 model. That's how you get sued. Relax.
Yeah, that's another thing. I can't. So my editor was actually learning Blender because he wanted to use the Yenfei model to like do other poses and things for videos. And then I was like, I don't think we're actually allowed to do that.
Yeah,
We
you get
can't-
sued up the
we can't
butt.
edit. Yeah, so like we can't even do that. Like for pre-recorded stuff, there's no way you could do like an actual VTuber model. But either way, like I think the limit for me is like a PNG tuber, or if you just wanted to have something like that was really small in the corner. Because like think
Mhm.
about it, you don't take up half the screen when you're with your face when you're streaming
Oh.
a game.
Oh, okay.
No, Island, seriously. If you're playing
Oh.
Honkai, is your face taking up more real estate than Kiana's? It's not, right? Like you're taking up this tiny little window in the bottom left-hand corner or something. That's not distracting. VTuber models take up like a
Oh.
third of the screen.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, like if you're just streaming yourself, that's fine. You can take up the whole screen. That's okay. Like if you're just chatting VTuber or whatever, then yeah, sure, that's fine, whatever. But, like if you're actually doing something and I'm supposed to pay attention to whatever else is on screen, it's not going to happen. That's my opinion. I know it's a hot take. I know a lot of people disagree with me. That's okay.
No, I think for what it's worth, it's not like It's just a preference anyway, so it's
Yeah,
whatever.
it's a preference thing. Like, I was so sad when Code swapped from being a PNG tuber to being a VTuber, because now I can't watch him. Anyway. I went off on a long rant. I'm sorry.
Can you check out timeline theory once again? What? Ask Island. Oh, bot. Get rid of bot. Timeline theory? What is the timeline theory?
Oh,
I don't know.
Hey, Island, I have a question. When you set up your stream chat, do you set it to subscribers only and then put a time limit on it?
You know what's funny about that? I didn't realize until just like a week ago, maybe a few days ago, that you can use
That you could do
subscriber
that?
only. Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely do that because I've never had a sex bot in my chat by doing that.
Whoa, language.
What?
It's adult chat, not a sex bot.
No, it's a sex bot.
Its name is adult chat. Darsh. I don't know what the timeline theory is. Unless you're talking about going over the timeline itself. The timeline is long. The summoner timeline theory I put in... Oh, dude. Bro, my brother. I'm gonna take a look real fast, but I can already tell it's gonna confuse the hell out of me. Because I'm not even familiar with that whole timeline of how the traveler, who came first, all that crazy nonsense.
I gave up on the timeline
Yeah.
for two reasons. One, because everything we know is wrong.
Yeah, it sounds like people are lying
And
to us.
two, everything can change. Okay, so here's a perfect example. All right, not to go back to Scaramouche for a minute, but this is like an absolute perfect example of something that's really confusing. So, without giving too many spoilers, at the end of the interlude quest, Scaramouche takes full responsibility for the things that he's done. And he even tells the traveler, hey, you can tell all the people that I ruined the lives of that I did it. He's like, I will accept whatever retribution that they have. He did that, right? So you have to assume that because Scaramouche has his memories, and that the traveler knows that all of these things happen and that their memories can't be altered, that Scaramouche did, in fact, kill a lot of people and ruin a lot of lives. Right? That's a fact. However, if you played the Iridori Festival, you will know that there was a little cutscene where Scaramouche spared the lives of Yoshinori and the people around him, right? He did not die at that point. No one died in that situation. However, after the interlude quest, that letter from Yoshinori, if it's still in your inventory, it got changed. Scaramouche is not in that story anymore. It's no longer remembered that he faced Yoshinori. It says that there was some other guy who was seeking vengeance and who said, I want all of the swordsmiths to die, blah, 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 and then they killed him. So whoever killed all of the swordsmiths got killed by the swordsmiths.
I love your
in the
impression.
Iridori letter now, right? So we know that that's not true. But that's how the world is remembering it. So we have to be very careful with historical records now, because like the voice at the end of the interlude quest says, you can only trust your own memory and you can only trust what you've seen with your own eyes. Like, that's basically all you can trust. The rest of history is a bit of a lie. So the only way for you to get an accurate timeline of certain events is to look at fictional books and find the places where those fictional books overlap. And that's where you have elements of truth. And that's the only thing you can possibly do right now, because there's no feasible way for us to go through the books and records and like in-game letters and everything and say, yeah, this is true, this happened, this happened, this happened. We don't know. We can't prove it. The only thing I will say is that it seems like artifacts and weapons are exempt from the Irminsul rewrite, so it's possible to still use those. But even then, like, there's not enough information in those for us to say with any certainty that all of these events happen. So it's very difficult to do a timeline now, even more than it was before.
Okay, Darsh, here's the situation. I know you copied and pasted that paragraph a lot, and I figured at least I'd entertain you in some regards instead of completely ignoring you. But I'm reading your message, and there are so many things that you're thinking about where the original thought process is kind of like, now I'm confused where you even got this information or idea from, because let me read it. We're assuming that it was humans who summoned Lumine back, but it doesn't have to be. It could be Celestial or Primordial under the Sustainer, just following their orders. Now, why would Primordial want summon Lumine? That entire sentence itself, I can see why you're thinking that, because it's very subjective and it's your own opinion anyway. But just to even get to that conclusion, I am confused, because that's just assumption. And you're asking questions based on assumptions. Like as if that was... Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer to it, because I don't know where the assumption stems from. Does that make sense? The idea, I understand, but like the idea itself is just like, I can't answer your question because I don't know your thought process. And no matter how much you explain your thought process to me, I can't give you like a answer to a question that might give you like a factual thing. It just doesn't exist because it's based on assumption. Does that make sense? You can ask me what I think about it, but honestly, if you want that opinion, I don't know. That's my answer, because I'm confused. Like more, just like everybody else. So hopefully that answered your question. Sorry, I wish I can give you a better answer or like a fact, but I don't have it. And unfortunately, I don't know. But thank you for asking a question. Again, you don't have to spam me with these questions, because most of the time when you ask me this question, I really honestly, especially with the Descenders or summoning, I have no clue. I feel like they brought that on and just with the purpose of trying to purposefully confuse the hell out of everybody.
I don't think so, because we've known that we've known about Descenders since the very beginning of the game.
I mean, I know the concept exists, but like, now what? I want more information, but they don't give it to us, right? That's why I'm confused. They give you like a little bit and then make you wait, and I'm just like, fuck. I'm more confused than I was before.
Well, that's how that works, though.
Yeah, and it irritates me.
That's how stories work.
I don't like it. Part of me just wants answers.
Well, you're not gonna get them, so make happy with what you got.
Yeah, I come accustomed to it.
Are you, though?
Better than before, I'll say that much.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean...
That's fair. I start losing interest in stories once they're complete, so I'm I'm happy.
Yeah. Because, you know, this is the first game that I actually cared a lot about story for. I play like Undertale and stuff that was pretty fun, but before that, it was just me playing competitive games. So it's been a different journey. Very interesting. Impatient, but I'm forcing myself to be patient.
I see. See, I usually play games for the story.
Hey, League has a story.
I don't like I don't
Thanks,
really
Whale.
like competitive games.
Thanks, Whale. I know that League has a story, okay? I know. I played Honkai after Genshin, if you're confused. I started Honkai after Genshin. Yeah, people are just asking. Yeah.
Maybe I didn't.
No, you're right. Any other questions, chat, before we do end the stream? If you guys enjoyed the little, I don't want to call it impromptu, but still like out of nowhere collab. For what it was worth, I love talking to people about lore and just enjoying talking. So honestly, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. and I hope, Ashkai comes back later.
You can ping me anytime. I'm around.
Oh, you heard it here, folks.
I'll
Debated
tell you
again.
if I can't show up.
Oh.
Well, I'm just not gonna just show up because you asked. I'll show up if I'm able to.
Start bothering you every single day. It's today. It's today. And then you're just gonna be like, all right, dude, listen, we gotta talk.
I mean, I'm still getting pestered to play Fall Guys, so we'll see how that goes.
Real quick, a question to you from me.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite game that's not Hoyoverse? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, that's very, very vague. In
What's
what
your
category? That'll help.
Relating to story. Which game had the
relating
best
to
story?
Story.
Besides Hoyoverse games.
What game made me cry?
That's a good way of looking at it.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot. I think along the same fantasy lines, I think one of my favorites is definitely Tales of the Abyss.
Mm-hmm.
For story, I think my next favorite, and this isn't necessarily saying that it's narratively the best game or anything. I really like the Dot Hack series.
Mm.
It has such a the gameplay is kind of so it's like when I say like is it my favorite game, I don't know, but I really enjoyed the story quite a bit. I really liked Okami. That was really good. I really like Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse. Both of those were quite good. But I won't say that those are particularly narratively great, but those are like overall worth putting time into.
I always wanted to try Okami.
But like there's also games like Uncharted, which I really enjoyed. Obviously has some narrative issues as well. I really like the new Lara Croft series.
Which one was the newest
like
one?
The new one. No, the new ones, because it's like a trilogy.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I really liked those. Those were quite good. I loved the story of Psychonauts, not because it's like particularly amazing, but just because the premise is so unique and so interesting that like it's just very engaging. I love that. I think I really, really, really enjoyed Golden Sun 1 and Golden Sun 2. Golden Sun 3 doesn't exist. Don't at me. I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist until I die. Let's see. What else is on my shelf? You can tell what games I like by the games I keep. Because usually I will buy a game, and if I don't ever want to play it again, I'll just give it away. Unless I really, really loved it. What else is on my shelf? It doesn't help that my shelf is like hidden. Hang on, I'm gonna look at my shelf.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm so tired still. I played One Shot before. It was pretty good.
Okay. Shadow Hearts is really good.
I
love Shadow Hearts. That one was good. I really do like Persona 3 for Shin Megami Tensei. Persona 4 is okay. Persona 5 is fine.
Persona 3 is better.
Persona 3 is my
yeah.
That's my preferred one. I really like Digital Devil Saga, also Shin Megami Tensei, but that one's really old, so it's kind of hard to get into that one. I experienced that one when it was still like a new-ish game, so I got.
Sure.
I feel like I have a much better experience with it because if you play it nowadays, because of our preconceptions of games, it's kind of like, it's just so difficult to play. Tales of Symphonia is also really good. Paper Mario is probably one of my favorite games of all time. And along those same lines, if you have a Switch, I highly recommend that if you enjoyed Paper Mario to pick up Bug Fables. I won't say it has the best story, but it has a good enough story and a really engaging world and a really fun gameplay. What else do I have? Oh, Persona Q is also really good.
Oh yeah, that's a game I almost forgot.
I really liked Persona Q. I didn't play Persona Q2. I feel like I probably should.
I was just curious because remember the other day you were in my stream and we were watching the game show and you were like, okay, you played nothing.
Well, I mean, like I list some really basic ones like God of War, right? Like God of War, the one is not good from a narrative perspective.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, because I didn't play.
It started out as one of those extremely violent games that's violent for the sake of violent, and the plot's kind of there to justify the violence. And then as the God of War series progressed, it became more and more narratively structured. And then that narrative became quite good. But I think as an overall series, it's a little difficult to say that it's like a particularly good series just because of where it started.
I was thinking you were gonna like suggest me some like indie games or something.
Oh, I mean, I could.
I mean, honestly though, no time.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. Like, how do you have less time than me? You have less jobs than me.
I don't know. I just work on like my work doesn't only involve making videos, unfortunately. If I wish it was that simple, but like
play games on stream.
I try to. I try to.
The same way you tried cooking once and it didn't work, so you didn't do it again.
Cooking? Oh, like actually cooking? No, I did a few times. I even took like pictures and I put it on Twitter and people were pressing likes and I was very happy.
And you need Twitter validation for your cooking. Why?
Because likes make me happy. Go follow my Twitter, everybody. Call to action.
Island, you cook so that you can eat it.
Yeah, I know. But no, it was like a cool thing that myself and my mom were doing every weekend. Like I was trying to learn how to cook and she would teach me, but then instead of her teaching me, I decided to like just cook for her without her teaching me, just to see like how like okay I can get at cooking. I did a good job. It was nice. It was fun. It's just we stopped doing it because she started going golfing on weekends. So I don't really even, I don't know. It was like I wanted a goal, but she started going golfing, so I was just like, if it's just me, I'll just go get something simple. So I got too lazy.
Or you could just make yourself something simple.
Yeah, but I don't see. Here's the thing.
My point is if you really want to like play more games and learn more games, then the best thing you could possibly do is say, hey chat, what game do you think I should be playing? And then play that game once or twice a week on stream every week.
There's a lot of game I want to play.
You don't need to replay Honkai, do you?
Well,
like if you,
that's
if
a
you
passion
don't start
project.
on your backlog, you're never gonna get to your backlog, right? Like I've played through Celeste, I've played Hollow Knight, I've played a lot. I've played the indie games. I don't talk about them because like I feel like when we talk about narrative and when we talk about like the games that we play, games that we play with other people, like they're all very different types of games. Like I think that I wouldn't play an RPG on stream. I have a hard time with them because I'm usually just like very quiet through most of them. But like for a game like Hollow Knight or even Bug Fables for that matter, I would play that on stream. Or like Fire Emblem Three Hopes is a game I would play on stream because it's like a warriors game. It's like a lot of combat kind of thing. There's certain games that I think work really well in a stream format and allow you to kind of talk. Hollow Knight is a really good example of it though, because it has a lot of really good environmental storytelling and it doesn't like force feed you the narrative, but I don't know that I would call it a narrative driven game. It's more like of an environmental storytelling game. It's kind of along the lines of like a Breath of the Wild.
Sure.
Actually in a lot of ways Genshin, but like Genshin has more plot.
I tried playing more games. I did. We play a little bit of different games. Lately. We played Minecraft. Shit, that was interesting. I never played Minecraft before, and I just wanted to try it out, so we played that. We tried playing Arknights. Kind of want to go back to playing Arknights. Right now, the problem is, here's the thing. I don't have a lot of time.
A game that's not a sandbox game, and a game that's not an ongoing game.
I just don't have time. You don't understand, right? Because I stream all my quests.
I'm literally working on analytics reports while I talk to you right now.
I can't multitask. We already established this idea.
I'm fixing 404s.
I don't know how
while
people
I'm, like, drilling you
multitask.
on these questions. Like,
Dude, I don't know how people multitask. It's impossible.
you
Dude,
don't need to. You can focus on just one thing at a time. But the thing is if you really want to play more games, you have to hold that thought in your head and say, I am going to play more games, and then pick a game to play. Like, you can't just say, I have no time, I have no
Yes,
time.
Mom.
You have no time because you're making no time.
yes,
right?
Mom.
You need to make time.
I don't know. We'll eventually get across it. I do want to make. I don't know. I was supposed to play more different games every Friday, but
And then what happened?
Honkai chapters, Honkai events, Genshin chapters. It's just never ending.
You can do it.
I could if I played them off stream, but I don't. I like streaming it, so that's like part of the situation that I'm in.
Well, just stream it. What's stopping you from streaming them?
I do. I'm talking about the events and stories. That's why I don't
Well, you
stream,
can stream
like
those
long
too.
hours. What? What are you talking about?
Why can't you stream those too?
What are those?
The games that you want to play and the games that you are currently playing.
I just can't stream more than 3-4 hours. I physically can't. I get exhausted. And then I want to
that's
play
funny.
it with people while I play a game. I don't want to just play it for the sake of playing it. Not because of content, but I don't like playing games by myself. I find it very, like, lonely. It's weird. And it all started after I started playing games for the sake of, like, being a content creator. Because I got so used to playing games on stream that it's difficult for me to play by myself because I want to talk to people while I play. It's weird.
So if you can't stream it, why not just pick one friend?
I don't have friends.
Make some.
What? What? You expect me to go outside and talk to people? This is
I
madness.
expect you to like go on Twitter and be like, "Hey, whale milk, you want to play with me?"
I can't do that.
Why?
I'm such a not because I don't like people. It's more like I don't know. Honestly, do you want to know my honest answer? If I'm not streaming, I don't want to play games. Because games have starting to make me exhausted. I'd rather go lay down watch anime, to be completely honest. And then when I'm streaming, then I play games. Because I want to play games with people. Other than that, I just like relax. Rip UD. We don't have time. UD doesn't have time to play games with me. Like, I don't know how many content creators. I don't know how they do it. How can content creators play? There's a lot who they can do this. They play games on the side just for their enjoyment. But I don't know how they can do that because I don't know that mentality of personality. I don't have that personality. It's weird.
I mean, I have been playing games for a really long time. So a lot of the games that I've played over the years. I might pick up like 3 or 4 new games a year. And if there's a game that I'm interested in that I don't actually want to play for whatever reason, because okay, so like here's the thing. I have not played Uncharted. I have watched people play Uncharted. And the reason for that is because I really suck at first-person shooters. So if the game is a first-person shooter, because I don't enjoy playing first-person shooters, I watch other people play them. But I still know what happens in the game. I still know the mechanics. I still know all that kind of stuff.
I think the problem is I tried playing League, by the way, about a month ago.
Why would you play League?
Because I used to like League. Like when I was like, I played for like 10 years. I used to like League and I used to get like a high enjoyment out of it. Just to see if I can like go back and try it to, play a game for the sake of enjoyment rather than content. That kind of idea. So I tried it again. After about 3 hours of playing, I just wasn't in it. Like, not because the League was a bad game or because, like, nothing like that. It's more like, what am I doing right now playing a game when I could just go outside or, like, go sleep?
Jizo super chatted
Honestly.
$3.19.
Well, games are meant to be
Island is
fun.
the one Ashika
Yeah,
worked on.
So
that's true.
if you're not
Emotional
enjoying playing a
damage too.
game, even by yourself, then you're not
Ashi, are
having
you my
fun.
mom by any chance?
Which means that whatever type of game you're playing is not a game that you enjoy.
I should just go get a hobby. A fun hobby. That's what I should do.
Well, games are supposed to be a hobby.
Yeah, it's become my work now. That's the problem, I think, right?
Well, see, that's kind of why I limited my channel to one game.
True.
Because I figure if I limit my channel to one game, I don't feel obligated to stream Xenoblade, right? I can just play Xenoblade.
Chat's saying adopt us. They're asking you to adopt them and help guide their ways. Nice live therapy session. Is this considered a therapy session? I don't know. I think we did.
I wanna actually, if you guys struggle with this sort of thing in Island, you might actually find this really helpful too. I stumbled on a channel recently called healthygamer.gg.
I watch them a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you actually put what he tells you into practice?
That's how I am able to be sane to this level. Let's put it that way.
Well,
if I didn't, I would have
talking about
probably went insane
motivation.
already.
He was talking about motivation the other day, and I realized that as he was talking, he was actually explaining the reason that I can't meditate. Because he was saying that motivation actually isn't what you think it is. It's just the ability to hold one thought in your head at one time. And that if you're letting other thoughts bump that thought out of your head, then you're not actually motivated. Because it's a process of like preventing the bump, right? Preventing the ooh shiny from happening. And so like when I realized that, I also realized, wait a second, that's what you do when you meditate. You're actually just holding one thought in your head.
Sure.
You're
I
trying
agree
to
with that.
focus
Yeah.
on that one thing. You're going like, kind of like you're just trying to like. But a lot of times they like say like, oh, you're supposed to clear your mind. You're only supposed to think of like your breathing or something like that. But like, I can't physically do that because I have to focus on one thought. So if I'm thinking about like a theory, I am thinking about one thought. I am writing a theory in my head in a flow state. So like, if I go walking in the woods, I can hold a theory in my head and I can be trying to piece together things and like all that other kind of stuff. Technically, that is a 2-hour meditation while I'm walking in the woods, right? And that's kind of helping you stay meditated because it's motivated because it's practice. But like a lot of the stuff that he says is all about practicing those sorts of things too. And I think that also helps with your ability to like turn on your exhaustion or turn it off. Because if a game is making you really tired, then you have to remember that tired is technically an emotional state, not a physical state. Which means that whatever you're going through at that time is not energizing to you. So you have to figure out why that is.
For sure. Okay, I think I do have to go soon.
But you have 1 minute before 1 o'clock, by the way.
Yeah, I have to get to the mall in like 20 minutes.
Oh, I have to go to an all agency meeting too, so I gotta go. Yep. Gotta
Hey,
go. See you
thank
later.
you for
Bye.
being here. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
chat. Thanks for having me.
All right, that was a pretty good, short therapeutic stream. Why not? Thank you all for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. For what it was worth, it was an interesting discussion with Genshin lore. We had a cool, fun chat, and then a discussion about life. I think that's always very fun. Our struggle, all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed the stream for what it was, man. Chat, thank you. Appreciate it. Hopefully we do more of these in the future, yeah? Will this be up for replay? Yes. I don't know I don't know how much of this is gonna be made into video. I don't know if I will. We'll see. But yeah, the VOD's gonna be available. VOD's gonna be available. It turned out to be Therapy Thursday. True. Yeah, here's the thing. I always want to play more games, but I can never find myself the time to play more games, and that's part of the reason is because I guess my priority for me wanting to play games is not as high on the list as I make it out to be. So there's that idea, right? Because I want to make more videos, get better at YouTube. And then when I do play games, I'm just like, I'll watch anime. Usually how that goes. But yeah. If you had any thoughts about the stream, please comment below on the live stream when it ends. If you have any thoughts, if you didn't like what we said, if you liked what we said, leave us a thought in the comments, and I'll filter through them and see if I can like try to be a better person or a streamer or a creator, all that good stuff. Yeah. With Way next, we'll see. I don't know how this went. I'll have to sit down and like think about it. But for what it was worth, I think it was very fun. I'm hungry and I have to go. Thank you, everybody. Hey, I'll see you all soon. Tomorrow, actually. Honkai. We're playing Honkai tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good night or good morning. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, on a different note, how do I want to put this? Monday? We were supposed to do Honkai Mondays. Just so you guys know, like we were supposed to theory craft and stuff on Mondays for Honkai Monday, but that took a turn, and instead we're literally playing the game all over again every Monday. Okay? Just so you guys are aware. That's the thing. We're playing Honkai all over again from start. Okay? So if you can't make it tomorrow, if you can't make it tomorrow, I'll see you Monday. If not, we'll see you next week. Why? Because lore. I want to learn more. Bye-bye. See you. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye. Peace.